Name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you are watching ABL Live. You could be anywhere in the whole wide world, so I'm glad you're right here with me. I definitely appreciate you for that. If you're watching this on the restream or you're watching it live, please press the like button, share it, do all that good stuff. And if you're not subscribed already, I don't know what you're doing. Go ahead and subscribe. That'll help me out tremendously. We got quite a few topics on deck for tonight. Yeah, quite a few House Republicans that stormed the Schiff that Adam Schiff was in. I don't know why he was in there, some kind of secure area where he's giving testimony about the impeachment. And what are you even talking about? Why are you giving testimony? Like, why are you in this little secure area talking about impeachment? For what? What's really going on? I don't really know, but we'll talk about that today. Also, have you guys seen that story about the father trying to fight for his son to prevent his ex-wife from turning the boy into a girl, or what she thinks will turn him into a girl? It's a whole lot going on there with that. Also, Donald Trump said the word lynching, and people are really upset. They're really butthurt, and they're really triggered. Meanwhile, Joe Biden said the same thing about the 1998 impeachment into one slick Willie Bill Clinton. So did several other people. We'll talk about that. And there's a whole lot more going on. It's a lot happening. You guys let me know in the chat. But we'll get to all those things. I saw some of the speech, yes, Chin. Trump is doing a great job with his presidency so far, and I can't wait for 4 more years. But we'll get to all that and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. I thank y'all for joining. I definitely appreciate y'all for being here. Like I said in the beginning, if you're just now coming into the stream, please give the video a thumbs up. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and also click that bell right beside the subscribe button so you get notified whenever I go live or post a new video. That'll help me out tremendously. But it's quite a lot of stuff going on. All right, David Ray. Hey, happy early birthday to you, David Ray. I'm glad you're hanging out with us tonight. You know, enjoy your birthday tomorrow. I wish you many more. 100%. All righty. So shout out to you all here. I appreciate you. Shout out to Rita, Dino, Linda, Abigail. Thank you all for being here. I most certainly appreciate you. So, yeah. Now, did you see all the House Republicans storm into the area? I've not seen a thing quite like that before, quite honestly. You know, I was really impressed. You know, a side of me is kind of like, you know, pessimistic. I'm thinking, okay, it's not really anything major. You're just doing that just for publicity. You're just doing that for show. But, you know, at this particular point, I'm not really sure what to think. I don't know what's true, what's false. I don't know what's what. Honestly, you know, I think that it was good that they did that. Even if it was just a show and it wasn't really anything major, I think that it was still good, because showing that kind of force does a lot. The main thing that they're trying to get across, in my humble opinion, is that these impeachment hearings, this witch hunt, this lynching, and we'll get to that in a moment, it shouldn't be going on behind closed doors. Why not have it open to the public? I think one point was made by one of the reps, I forget his name, but if you guys know, let me know in the comments. One point that was made was that everything that Schiff was saying in this backdoor Schiff area was not classified. So why not say it before the entire public? I mean, you have a whole a few channels like C-SPAN 1, 2, 3. They'll show all this stuff all the time for free. So why not just have it be open to the public? What are you really trying to hide? So I think that was good that they went and did that. And it was funny that they said they were going to order Chick-fil-A during this particular thing to eat during lunch. I thought that was fantastic. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely with the whole thing. Some people, they're trying to get Matt Gaetz and others arrested. I'm like, arrested for what? What are you going to arrest him for? I mean, the information should be heard by the public. It's not classified. They didn't break into anybody's house or anything. Okay. And furthermore, this is something that the United States government owns, this area, and these are government employees paid for by we the people, by us. We have a right to hear what's going on. Since it's not classified, We definitely got the right to hear it. It's not going to hurt national security. What are you doing behind closed doors so we can't hear it? And why are you going to try to arrest somebody? Are you trying to silence us? Are you trying to prevent us from doing what the constituents want us to do in the country? What's really going on? But all of that is just people just talking crazy. That's all. So I'm not too much worried about it at all. And I thank y'all for joining. I most certainly appreciate you. Let me see what else we got here. Now, what's going on with Fox 10? Is that is there a speech going on right now? You guys let me know in the chat what's happening. But what do you guys think about the whole storming into the secure area thing? Okay. What is your viewpoint on that? No, I got some pictures from that actually. Hold on. Matter of fact, I got a few pictures. Let me see. Let's put up my desktop right quick. So I guess these are all the guys. I see Matt Gaetz right there, right in front. These are some of the good guys right here. Like if I had one of these guys in this picture or in some of the other pictures as my House rep, I feel like I'm doing pretty well. I feel like I made the right decision. People like Mitt Romney are not going to be in this bunch. They're going to be the ones trying to hide, the testimony behind closed doors. That's what's going to happen. So shout out to them for having a little bit of backbone here and standing up and saying something about what's happening. They know this is a witch hunt. They know what time it is. It ain't nothing else but that, honestly. There's no sense in trying to fake like it's not. It's hilarious to see them try to scrum around. When I say them, I mean the mainstream media trying to scrum around and say oh, it's not really a witch hunt. I can't tell. And then they got mad because Trump said the word lynching. Why would you get mad at the word lynching? That's what it is. Okay. That's exactly what it is. And the thing about when Trump says witch hunt, it's the same thing as saying lynching, really, because what's the end result of a witch hunt? It's a lynching. Okay. Somebody gets found, they get drug out of wherever they are, they get strung up on a rope, whatever, and they get set on fire. It's a lynching. That is the end result. If you are determined to be a witch, then you will have that fate happen to you. It's a lynch mob mentality. That's just kind of what goes on. So why be acting like, oh, this is so terrible and all this, that, and the third for what? It's because Trump said it, and since Trump said it, that must mean that it's racist. That's pretty much the long and short of it. When others say it, it's no big deal. You had Joe Biden come out and apologize for what he said. Let me see if I can find it right quick, and then I'll show you guys. Okay. Matter of fact, I got another video that I'm gonna show you in a little bit, but let me get to the Joe Biden one because I thought that pretty much summed it right on up. Here we go. This is Joe Biden in 1998 talking about the Bill Clinton situation, and the audio was it's only mono, so you're gonna hear it in one ear. Your one ear will enjoy this audio. Check it out right quick.
Even if the president should be impeached, history is going to question whether or not this was just a partisan lynching or whether or not it was something.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let's run that back one more time.
This was just a partisan lynching, to question whether or not this was just a partisan lynching, or whether or not it was something that, in fact, met the standard, the very high bar that was set by the founders as to what constituted an impeachable offense.
So, I mean, all right, Joe Biden, this is you. This is Wolf Blitzer right here on the camera. You're on CNN talking to Wolf Blitzer about impeachment as it relates to Slick Willie, your man, Bill Clinton, who you worked the crime bill with. That's a whole different story. You worked the crime bill together, so you're like thick as thieves. In 1994, 1998, you say that the impeachment, it could be a witch hunt. I mean, it could be a lynching. So if you can use it back then, why is it wrong for Trump to say it right now? And he had the most hilarious response. Let me see if I can find it right quick. Because, of course, the media is going to get on him and say, okay, you're a hypocrite. That's right, Willman 757. You're a hypocrite. Aria, exactly. So how are you going to say that he's wrong for saying that, but you can say this? I mean, what's really going on? I got to find this apology. I got to find this apology right quick, and then you'll see how crazy it was. Let me see if I can get it. Joe Biden apology. Let me see. Hold on. It's going to be a little difficult to find. But yeah, I mean, if he can say that, then that word has been used by so many, and it's not a racist word. How are you going to say that the word lynching is racist? It's a term of a thing that actually has happened all over the world, and some things that still happen. You know, you got cities, Lynchburg. I mean, it's just a word. To say that the word lynch is racially motivated is the same thing as saying the word whip is racially motivated. It's not even. It's not even that. It might not even really be. Oh, here it is, right here. Okay, let's read this together right quick so you understand what's going on. Okay, this wasn't the right word to use, and I'm sorry about that. Trump, on the other hand, chose his words deliberately today in his use of the word lynching and continues to stoke racial divides in this country daily. How does that make any sense? So when you were on television, like, think about it like this. Trump wrote a tweet, and it might not have even been him. It could have been somebody else that wrote it for him. He probably dictated it, of course, and signed off on it, but he did not go on TV and say that. You, on the other hand, were on CNN talking to Wolf Blitzer with cameras rolling. You got makeup on, the whole 9 yards, lights, camera, action. You're on TV talking about this as it relates to Bill Clinton being impeached. It's the exact same situation. President getting impeached, you talking about lynching. Trump facing impeachment, talking about lynching. What's the difference? So did you not intentionally say what you said when you were on TV talking to Wolf Blitzer? How does it make any sense? When you're on television, you're hyper aware of the cameras, of the fact that you're talking to the entire nation, if not the entire world. So you didn't mean to say lynching? I don't really get it. Okay, it wasn't the right word to use. Why was not the right word to use? Why was it the right word to use in 1998, but not in 2019? Oh, because they said that it was the wrong word to use. Why did it take you 21 years to apologize? It's because there was a need to apologize before. You didn't say anything wrong. That's how you felt about the situation. You used the right word. I mean, we can disagree with you about the facts of the case or whatever it is. That is irrelevant. It has nothing to do with the actual word lynching. Okay. This apology makes zero sense, none whatsoever. You used it, you meant to use it the same way Trump put it out there and meant to use it. There's no difference in what you said. You just all of a sudden now want to be this far leftist guy because your party is being driven to the far left by your AOCs of the world. Nancy Pelosi has no control at all. If Nancy Pelosi were in charge, then this type of stuff wouldn't really be happening to this extent, in my humble opinion. Now, granted, Nancy Pelosi is behind a lot of this, but it's never been this so radical. You know what? I got to backtrack a little bit. Nancy Pelosi is to blame for the Democratic Party being far left, but it's AOC that's taking it there, and I'll explain that right quick. Nancy Pelosi set the stage. She set the table for the food of the far leftists to be placed upon it and eaten by the American people. Okay, you're desperate to get Trump out of there. You don't have anybody that is going to be able to beat him in 2020. You're focusing all your energy on trying to attack Trump constantly over and over again. So here's a wide open lane for AOC to drive through. You don't have enough juice, enough ammo to attack Trump appropriately or to kind of counteract the conservative message. So here I come. I'm AOC. I'm bringing my cohorts with me. I'm bringing my money with me. I'm bringing Young Turks, Cenk, and all of them. I'm bringing the genociders. I mean, the Young Turks money as well. We're going to come in and we're going to bring the party all the way to the far left. So now you'll be able to get some kind of traction in trying to attack Trump. They've gotten some traction, but will it work? I doubt it, because it's a double-edged sword. You're getting more attention in the media and you're driving more people crazy with Trump derangement syndrome. They're going to be more violent in their fighting against Trump, usually online, not so much in person. In person sometimes, but not really. You're going to achieve that goal, but you want to achieve the goal of being able to get him out of office. So it's kind of a weird situation in Catch-22. Yes, you're gaining some ground in gaining more attention to the Democratic Party, but you're pushing the party all the way to the far left. So in the end, you may have less people that are in the party although you have more attention. It's a weird thing, but it is what it is. That's right, I believe America, and they are scared of Trump. 100%. Shout out to DA for the donation on Super Chat. I definitely appreciate you. Who says ABL, B Tatum. Hold on. I just lost it right quick. Let me go back. It says, DA says ABL, B Tatum, Uber Guy, Candace Owens, Magnificent, Fleckus, Talks, Shapiro, Jericho Green. You guys and some others are saving the country. USA, USA, USA. I thank you for that. I most certainly appreciate you and your very kind words. I thank you for that. Okay, yep, we're getting to Jeffrey Younger as well. That's a great point you made right there, One Titans. I didn't even know who the judge was in the case, but I think that particular case you're talking about with the young boy, it should go all the way to the Supreme Court, and it shouldn't even be a question that a judge needs to decide. It shouldn't be up to a judge to say, okay, this is okay, and no. It should, there's no reason for a judge to be able to say that if an adult sexually abuses a child, that it's okay. No judge anywhere in the USA, in the world really, but definitely not the USA, no judge should be able to say that's okay. There should be no kind of discretion or nothing like that. If you are a child, it's wrong to abuse the child, period. That's it. There shouldn't be no kind of, ambiguous territory. This needs to go to the Supreme Court, and it should be a federal thing. You should not be able to administer a sex change to anybody under the age of 18, period. That's it. Or have anything that would lead to a sex change, like halting your natural progression and puberty, hormone blockers, puberty blockers, things like that. Okay, you shouldn't be putting, and I would go even as far, it might be kind of a stretch to do it, but I would go even as far as to say that you shouldn't be dressing boys and girls clothes. That might be kind of hard because you got some androgynous type stuff going on, but the main thing should be you should not be able to perform a sex change on anyone under the age of 18 or any kind of thing that would lead to a sex change, like I said, such as drugs. You should not be able to put a child on drugs to alter their hormonal composition, period. That should be what it is. Unless it's like medically required for some kind of disease, okay? If you must change hormones because the disease is present, and if the disease is not treated, it would severely injure or kill the person. A serious medical problem, physical problem, not a mental problem. If you have a mental problem, treat it with a psychiatrist, okay? Not hormone blockers and stuff like that, okay? And the reason why I say that is because in the military, that's why they were doing the sex changes and stuff like that. And that's why Trump banned trans military members, because what they were doing is going to the military doctors and saying, oh, I have gender dysphoria. I have an actual mental condition. Therefore, in order to fix my gender dysphoria, I got to get a sex change on the house. I need that right now. And it was happening. It was putting the military in danger. It's costing money. And then you're transforming the military where you're supposed to be doing like real medical procedures, war wounds and stuff like that, physicals, stuff. You transform them into a sex change facility, into some seedy Dominican Republic, not DR, into some seedy Brazil type place. You understand what I'm saying? So that's not what the military is supposed to be. And you most certainly shouldn't be doing that to children. Now, if you have not seen the video I did about this, in Dallas, Texas, there is a 7-year-old boy who is being really forced to have a quote unquote sex change, reassignment, or whatever by his mother. They're going to start with hormone blockers, puberty blockers, and whatnot. The mother thinks the boy identifies as a girl, but the father, who's been fighting this in court, he's fighting his ex-wife to prevent this from happening. He's saying that the boy does not identify as a girl. When the boy is with him, he refuses anything to do with girls' clothing or anything feminine at all. He doesn't even wear like the tidy whities because they're too much like girls' underwear. He is a boy through and through. He likes to wrestle, play with trucks. He is a boy. The mother is abusing the child and making him be more like a girl. The dad said something that was really heartbreaking. He was like, when the boy is at my house, he refuses to do with anything feminine. He does not like it. It's not me coaching him into it. It's him not wanting to do it. When it goes with his mother, he will sometimes opt to wear female clothing because if he doesn't do it, he thinks his mom won't love him. And that was deep. And it makes sense. You're a little boy. This has been going on for a while. He said that the mother was reading him books about trans people when he was 2 years old. What do you know about anything with your gender at all at 2 years old? You're basically trying to get your goo goo and gaga phase over with and get potty trained. What do you know about transgender, conformity, non-conformity, or whatever it is? You know nothing. You're being indoctrinated by your mother to be a certain way. And the crazy part is, I'm reading more about this. They said that it was some kind of it was an egg donor that came in and made the mother get pregnant with the child. So she's not biologically the child's mother. She carried the child, but it was not her egg that got fertilized. From what I'm reading, I could be wrong. Also, what else was it? Oh, the boy is a twin, but the other twin does not get the kind of treatment. And the father was saying in an interview on RT, in a video I did, I placed the whole thing in the box. In the video I did, he said that the mother picked the quote unquote loser child to basically pick on and make be this way. The other child does not get that kind of treatment. The other child is just allowed to be whatever, they're not pushed into this particular path. So obviously the mom's got some serious issues. If it were me and I were the judge that ruled in favor of the mother in this case in Dallas, Texas, young black female judge, if I were the judge, I would say that the mom need to get locked up. This is a clear case of child abuse and nothing else. Okay. This is what I'm talking about with the whole LGBTQIA ABCD movement. If somebody's gay and they're an adult, I don't care nothing about that. If you got two people that's gay and they're adults, that's their business, not mine. I'm not in that lifestyle. I don't agree with it, but that's your business. Whatever. I don't care. But if you got two men and when they get married, I draw a line right there, because not that I hate gay people. It's the fact that once you allow gay marriage, now you have a big snowball rolling downhill, collecting all kind of momentum and crash into whatever it wants to crash into. The first step is allowing gay marriage. Then it becomes trans rights. And I called it some years ago, and here we are. The biggest thing at one particular point was gay marriage. That was huge. It was nothing mentioned about trans rights, nothing about, now all of a sudden it's, oh, okay, if you're transgender, we gotta give you rights now. You gotta be able to, and then it went from transgender to trans age. Oh, well, I'm 54 years old, but I identify 6 years old. You see what I'm saying? It's gotten out of control. And now we've gone so far down the rabbit hole in a very short period of time, like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, that you have children getting sex change operations. And the little boy in Dallas ain't the only one. There's a lot of other kids that are getting sex change operations in Texas. So imagine how it is in California. I saw this video clip of a gender reveal in kindergarten. A kindergartner went to class as one gender, went to a back room, came out as a different gender. When I was 5 years old, I had no idea about gender at all, really. I didn't understand the concept. I knew girls were different than boys, but I didn't understand what it was like to really be a boy or a girl. Not in a deep or abstract way, the way I do now, because I'm 5. I don't understand these type of things. I understand how to color, how, I'm trying to learn how to read very well. I know how to play with toys. I don't know these very deep issues. So this case hopefully goes to the Supreme Court. It shouldn't be legal to have a sex change surgery or any kind of sex change preparation begin when you are not 18 years old. If you cannot consent to sex below 18 or 16, whatever it is, you shouldn't be allowed to consent to a sex change. You understand what I'm saying? Or prepping for a sex change with drugs. As simple as that. See, that'll be the next thing they try to attack. Next thing will be, oh, well, they're too young. They can't really consent. Let's lower their age of consent down to just whatever. Whatever you identify as is the age you can say that you consent. That's the next step. That's why I say don't go past gay marriage. Stop. Don't let gay marriage happen, because it's like a dam. You got this big river, right, of SJW crazy things, and gay marriage is the dam that's holding the whole big river back from the village. Now gay marriage is gone, and we're being just awash with all the damn water just all over the village. And we're seeing the results. And I called it years ago. It's simple. Like, I look into the future. Notice the so-called progressives, they think that way. They it's like death by 1,000 cuts. It's little things here and there. Bathroom bill, gay marriage, and before you know it, you bleeding to death. That's how they operate. Oh yeah, bestiality rights. That's all coming. Pedophilia. Like, they're talking about pedophiles being able to, like, I'm seeing little articles talking about, I'm not a monster. It's like, no, See, we've gone way too far. And I think people recognize that we've gone too far in this nation. That's why the far left people can't win anymore, because that kind of behavior, that kind of debauchery is not a popular thing. It's just not what we're really into. So we're going back. It's like we're just trying to autocorrect. We're trying to get back to the center. And the only way to get back to center is to head towards the right, because the left is so far into the island by itself. You can't go any other direction but back to the right. It's simple. It's like your conservatives are now your basic everyday moderates, because of how far left the left has gone. There's not really many far right people. The people that purport themselves to be far right usually are far left, but that's a different story, and I digress. It's crazy. That's a good point, DC. She says you can't even get your ears pierced without parental approval before 16, but you can have a sex change and abort your babies. Exactly. Right. It's crazy. And it's like supported, it's promoted. They got TV shows about it. It's a TV show about this boy that became a girl, in his mind at least. At age 18, he had a gender reassignment surgery, which means he had his twig and berries altered at age 18. So this had been brewing since he was a child, a little child. That's called child abuse. As simple as that. And then I saw an interview. Shout out to Candace Owens. She did an interview with this guy. I forget his name, but you may have seen the interview on PragerU. It was a man who used to be transgender and reverted back to being a man. Now, I don't really know about all the details, but let's just say he regrets his decision to become transgender. And if you have a fully grown man that regrets it after they became quote unquote trans later in life, I mean, how about an 8-year-old boy, a 5-year-old boy? You think maybe later they might regret their decision to become a girl or to go down that direction? Because even though there may not be sex change surgery, you have drugs that are involved. So you don't think when they get to be 15, 16 and they're trying to play sports and they can't, or they got physical problems, they go into the hospital, they don't know what's going on, you think they won't regret that decision that was made not really by them but by their parents to get on these drugs to try and become a girl? I mean, it's really, like I said, let's go to the Supreme Court and let's not allow these things to happen to children. If you want to be an adult, you can do whatever you want to yourself. If you want to become a lizard, if you want to paint your skin green with tattoos and put piercing in every part of your body that's visible to the naked eye, then go for it. You're an adult. You can do that to yourself if you want to. But kids, off limits. All right. That was on my chest. I had to get that off. That was really on my chest. Man, that's... It should be a Supreme Court case. I'll just leave that right there. All right. So what do we got? What else we have here? I talked about lynching. I think there was one more thing on deck that I wanted to talk about. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, yeah. Now, it's going to be kind of a crazy shift in topic, but what about your man, Mitt Romney, talking about his name is Pierre Delecto? Really? Pierre Delecto? Why would you name yourself that on Twitter? And why would it be some kind of egg avatar? The thing about people like Mitt Romney and what the whole Pierre Delecto kerfuffle showed is the fact that they're soft. They're spineless. They have no cojones. They have no nothing. They don't want to come out and say what they want to say as themselves. They got to use fake names and do things on the low and send little pigeon messages to people without their name on it. If you really want to say something, say it with your chest. Don't be trying to look down and hide. Do not throw a stone and hide your hand. Come out and say it as yourself. He was saying a lot of the same things that Trump would say, or pardon me, not the same things that Trump would say. He was doing what Trump does, which is just be himself and say things he agrees with and don't agree with publicly as himself. He'll get on Twitter and say what comes to his mind. It doesn't matter if everybody loves it or if everybody hates it. He stands on it as himself. Mitt Romney does not want to do that. He wants to be a politician as Mitt Romney, but then do some other stuff that he thinks is not really becoming of a politician with this little alter ego. And I would not be surprised if he was the only one that's doing this. I'd be kind of surprised. I'd be like, all right, no, it ain't just you doing this. There are more people in Congress, in Capitol Hill in DC that are doing this, that are saying things that are not being said by themselves, that are being said by others or through others. It's kind of the same thing that James Comey did with the whole leaking situation. He didn't want to do it himself and be a man and come on TV and say what it was. He wanted to, quote unquote, pass it to a friend, and then the friend passed it to somebody else, and then it got leaked that way. Nah, if you want to be a whistleblower, if you want to be a leaker, whatever it is, come on out and be like, yeah, I did that. You're going to get fired regardless of what. You might have already got fired regardless of what. So, I mean, what's the point in doing that way? Oh, you're just trying to make it be some kind of legal protection. I get it. You're skirting the law. I see you're a lawyer, James Comey, so you kind of skirting the law. You don't want to get in trouble. I get it. I understand. You want to do things that should be illegal in a legal way. I get it. But back to Mitt Romney, you're just a coward. You don't want to say what's in your mind. A lot of these guys in Congress, I don't even understand what their goal is. If you're trying to attack Trump and undermine him, what are you doing? That's not going to help you at all. Number one, your constituency likes Trump. They voted for him in 2016. So if you're trying to undermine him every chance you get, how is that going to help your career? And how is that going to help your constituents? If they liked him, why are you trying to undercut him with things that don't even really matter? Stupid stuff. This whole impeachment thing. Who was it that came out and said that he would vote for impeachment? Kasich. You have Lindsey Graham, who was reverted back to Lindsey Graham 1.0, talking about, they shouldn't have barged in on Adam Schiff, and I voted for Evan McMullen. It's like, why? What's the purpose? At this particular point in time, the GOP has become Trump's party. When it was under George W., it was his party. Same thing with the Democratic Party under Barack Obama. Same thing with the Republicans under Reagan, under Slick Willie, under George H. That's how it is. Every presidency, it belongs to the particular president. If you are not supporting the particular president, it's got to be a valid reason. You're talking about Ukraine. How was that a valid reason to not support the president when everybody does that exact same thing? You're talking about the word lynching. How is that a valid reason when everybody does the exact same thing with no penalty for it? You're picking on things that everybody else does, but because it's Trump, you want to attack him. Why? That's not going to help anybody. They won't help you or us. So what are you even doing? Trying to gain brownie points in DC with some of the big money people that you want to keep, getting paid by, or some of your friends who are also in government, you want to still be able to go to the parties and hang out with. Those days are over with. If you're still a hangover from the Cheney and Bush days, you're pretty much a fossil and you got to move on. That's how it is. You got to move on to the next thing. It's as simple as that. You're not going to be able to succeed going about things that way. So, yeah, shout out to Matt Gaetz. Shout out to everybody that wants to be out there and be who they are as a person. Bernie Sanders, I give him one thing. One piece of credit I give him is the fact that he'll stand on whatever he believes. He's a loud guy. He's like, yeah, I'm going to raise taxes on everybody. Everybody paying more. I don't care if you're young, old, whatever. Everybody paying more in taxes. He says that up front. So I'm like, okay, I don't agree with that. I'll never vote for you, but I can respect that. You're being upfront and somewhat honest rather than Pierre Delecto trying to sneak behind the scenes and just throw stuff out there as himself, but not as himself. Wearing a mask so nobody can see you. And what's the point of it now that you already came out and said it's you? And it was easy to identify. I mean, these guys aren't even good with their sneaking around. I mean, what are we even doing? Yep. I mean, this whole thing about the impeachment, the lynching, It's like I heard Democrats say lynching more about impeachment than Republicans, but the Democrats are saying that the word impeachment is somehow racist. I don't understand. I just don't get it. But then again, I do get it. It's all about just trying to push a particular narrative, and that's it. It's as simple as that. Matter of fact, hold on. Here is Mr. Jim McDermott talking about impeachment and using the word lynch as well.
This day feels to me like we're taking a step down the road to becoming a political lynch mob. We're in so much hurry to get this done so it can be in the Saturday, Sunday news cycle and have our mint juleps at 5 o'clock. We are going to find a rope, find a tree, and ask a bunch of questions later.
Well, there it is. I mean, so Jim McDermott said it back then. Joe Biden said it back then. My man, Clarence Thomas, said it, and it was appropriate back with the whole Anita Hill kerfuffle because they were trying to lynch him with those false allegations. The same thing they did with Brett Kavanaugh and everybody else. It's the same thing. Like, history repeats itself. There's nothing new up under the sun. This has all been done before. It's just political games. The average normie may not understand that it's political games, and they may think that Trump is actually a racist or something like that, but they don't understand that this is all just political theater that's been done since the beginning of the United States. Simple. It ain't nothing else to it. Okay. Matter of fact, and I forgot about Miss Katie Hill, the Democrat from California. Have you guys seen my Instagram? Shout out to my Instagram page, instagram.com/Anthony B. Logan. But have you guys seen my post on Instagram, maybe even on Twitter and Facebook if you're following me there? Now, this is censored, so it's not NSFW, but she is naked on the couch. So fair warning, but it is censored, so you don't see any body parts. Okay, this is the Democrat from California, the House Rep Katie Hill. Now, this is her sitting on a hotel couch in Alaska where she went on a trip with her staffer, which is a different story we'll get to in a moment. She's brushing her staffer's hair while she's totally naked. Totally just butt naked. Now, she's come out and admit that this is her. She did have an affair, and of course she's married. You cannot be having affairs with your staffers. You can't do it. That's against rules. That is prohibited. You can't do that. And that's an abuse of power, all kind of stuff. You just can't do that. And she is in the picture nude, brushing the staffer's hair on a trip to Alaska, which she went on, I think, with her husband. I think it was a trip that they went on. It was kind of more personal than business. You can't do this. She's come out and admit that that's her. Now, what if this were a guy like Matt Gaetz, Jim Jordan, Devin Nunes? What if it were Donald Trump himself? Trump, if it were Trump anywhere, if Trump could have had a suit tie on in that same situation, brushing somebody's hair, it would have been like, okay, impeach him right now. But naked. So let's dial it back down to like a congressional person, one of her colleagues that's right across the aisle from her. Matt Gaetz, Jim Jordan, Devin Nunes. What if it was one of them brushing their staffer's hair butt naked? What if the chicken berry was like right there on the shoulder? What's really going on with that? She's come out and said that's her. Okay, so we have that proof. Matter of fact, let me see. Okay, here's a little statement from her. Matter of fact, I'll place it on the screen so you can see it. To my family, friends, and supporters, members of my community, it pains me deeply that I have to send you this note at all, but I want you to hear from me that I can hopefully put to rest some of the gossip, innuendo, and lies that have been told in recent days. During the final tumultuous years of my abusive marriage, now you want to play that card, I was getting beat up, so that means it's okay to just have an affair with your staffer, which is against the rules. You can't just be single, but I digress. During the final tumultuous years of my abusive marriage, I became involved in a relationship with someone on my campaign. I know that even a consensual relationship with a subordinate is inappropriate, prohibited, appropriate word, but I still allowed it to happen despite my better judgment. For that, I apologize. I wish nothing but the best for her and hope everyone respects her privacy in a difficult time. But the truth is, distributing intimate photos with the intent to publish them is a crime. Okay, so now she want to threaten us, those that posted it. You know, let's just ignore the fact that you violated the rules. You cheated on your husband. Let's just look past all of that and try to attack us, those that are just putting the information out there for public consumption. And the perpetrator should be punished for full extent of the law. I've notified Capitol Police, who are investigating it, and therefore will have no further comment on the matter. Okay, I'm going through a divorce from an abusive husband who seems determined to try to humiliate me. I am disgusted that my opponents would seek to exploit such a private matter for political gain. This coordinated effort to try to destroy me and the people close to me is despicable and will not succeed. I, like many women, see, I'm seeing all kind of victims. I this, I that. I'm a woman. I'm beat up. All this, that, and the third. Nah, if you want to be playing these games, having an affair with your husband, having the husband involved with the affair, and then not only that, after you break it off with the husband and the staffer, you get with a different staffer, a male this time. So this is what you do. You just pick from whoever's like right there on your campaign. So this is your fault. Take responsibility, but we'll move on. I, like many women who have faced attacks like this before, am stronger than those who want me to be afraid. I am saddened that the deeply personal matter of my divorce has been brought into public view, even the false allegations of relationship with my congressional staffer, which I have publicly denied, and I am fully and proactively cooperating with the ethics committee. This smear campaign will not get into the way of my work, and I am doing every day to move forward our district and our country. I am truly grateful for the outpouring of support I've received from colleagues, constituents alike, and I know we will get through this together. Okay, now are you really buying that? Are you buying this whole thing about, oh, well, I'm a victim, I was abused? Nah. You made a mistake. You did something you shouldn't have been doing. You know the rules. You play the game. Now you got to face the consequences. It is what it is. I'm not trying to hear nothing about it. So we're going to see what happens. You know, we're definitely going to see what happens. I mean, I can't wait. Democrat, California. She's from Texas, if I'm not mistaken, but she's in California. This is not the first time a person in California has done some kind of things like this against them. I think Kamala Harris, you know, she rose to the top by, I don't want to make an inappropriate joke, but she rose to the top through some inappropriate means, to put it that way. And many others been involved in sexual stuff in California, Democrats always. And it's like, it's kind of like par for the course. It's probably just the way they do it over on the left coast. It's probably more widespread than what we imagine. Oh, I agree with that, himself, Lee. It was probably written for her. She just put it on her Twitter and said, okay, this is my statement. Matter of fact, it might have been a Facebook post, actually, because it's a lot of characters. Probably was a Facebook post. So, hey, it is what it is. I want to see her in a press conference, like how they tried to grill the Republicans. See her in the press conference answering questions and see what comes as a result of that. That's what I want to see. 100%. So we'll see. We'll definitely see what happens. But thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you. Please give me a thumbs up if you like what you're hearing so far. Also, please share the video. That'll help me out tremendously. 1000%. But I got to say more thing about that. Imagine if that were a male. It's getting next to no media coverage. It's not really being talked about at all. They're talking about Ukraine and Syria and Matt Gaetz and Adam Schiff and the Schiff area. They're talking about all of that. But what about this over here? A sex scandal involving a congressional staffer with a person in government, an elected official. That's not really important. Oh, because she's a Democrat and a female. Oh, okay, I get it. You know, let's not forget that the whole thing with Bill Clinton was based around this kind of thing. Now, before anybody says he lied, I understand that's the whole thing. That was the thing they got him on, or they tried to get him on, was a line. I get it. But the background to the whole thing, the whole thing was centered around Monica Lewinsky. That was the main piece to the puzzle, was Monica Lewinsky. You having an affair in the Oval Office, is that, and the third. This man almost got removed from office for that. But this lady over here, it's not really a big deal. Matter of fact, anybody that posted the picture, you're getting locked up. How about that? Some nerve on her, but I digress. Take it to DA who says Californians come to Texas because their economy was failing and they brought their failed policies with them. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. A lot of liberals come to Texas and they vote the same way they did in California. A lot of them are just kind of ignorant. They don't understand that the way they're voting caused the issues to begin with in California. They don't understand that. They think that they're voting, like they vote in an emotional way. They don't vote with their brain. They vote with their heart. So they think they're doing the right thing, but they're not. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, oh, no, well, I'm voting for the trees. I'm voting for the forest. I'm voting for blacks and Hispanics. You're really voting for your own self to make yourself feel good, like you're doing something for the world. You're not voting for anybody. You're not voting with a brain in your head. You're voting with your heart. And that's going to lead the state down the toilet. That's how California is the way it is in many parts of the state. Don't bring it to Texas. It's very simple. You know what? You're right about that, Anthony D. Anthony says we must start running for Congress. It's up to us because there is no one that has our agenda. I'm with you. A lot of these career people, and then sometimes the younger people are even worse. This person, Katie Hill, was like 32, younger than me, a freshman congresswoman. I mean, look at what she's doing. Just totally inappropriate, not correct, not handling herself right. You're right on, no, Lil King. He says, same thing with socialism. They think someone will eventually get it right. Exactly. It's failed every time it's tried. Then they try to point to places like Sweden and stuff like that. You know, it got like 500,000 people in the whole country. It's more than that, but it ain't that many. And it's not the same thing, but it's not the same what they're trying to implement. It's not the same kind of economy, the way that their country is set up with the military. It ain't the same thing as the United States. The size, the scale, it's just not the same. The, homogeneity is not anywhere near the same. Different people, different regions. People just don't understand a lot. They understand really basic things on the surface and they go off of that because of how they feel. If they understood things on a deeper level than the surface, then they would know that what they're talking about is not right. That doesn't make any sense when it comes down to real world application. Thank you, Steve. Hey, that could be my future running for Congress. You never know. And yeah, Trudeau did win, if I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong, no, Lil King? Trudeau won again. Now, I don't want to hear anything from the SJW Canadians anymore. You guys voted for a blackface prime minister again after it was revealed that he had on blackface. I'm talking about it just got revealed. So it ain't like, oh, I forgot, I didn't know, whoop-de-whoop. No, you knew, and it was pretty public information. It was all over the internets, all over mainstream television, whatever. So you knew, but you voted for him anyway. So don't try to say we're racist over here. Look at your guy right there. If that's not racist, then, I mean, what is? In your eyes, if you're an SJW and you think that everything is racist, what Trudeau did has to fit into your category of racist things. And if it doesn't, then what you're talking about being racist is not even valid. Your whole argument about everything being racist has to cease. So it kills your whole thing that you have. It ruins your whole shtick. Simple as that. Yep. Exactly, Hawaii girl Beth. I know it's not really socialist in Sweden, but the SJWs, they don't really understand that. They don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's funny how Obama's up there in Canada endorsing Trudeau. Now, he said that, well, he didn't say it, but the news media are saying that Obama, he'll take his time with the candidates. He wants to wait, all this and that, until after the primary. After the primary, is he even going to support a Joe Biden? He should endorse him right now. I mean, he's the guy that is really the front runner, or could be, if he had that little push over Pocahontas. But maybe they want Hillary Clinton to come in on a 0 hour. If Hillary Clinton comes in, it'd be hilarious to see her still fall behind Pocahontas in the polling. That would just be just stupendous. Fantastic. You're talking about you can beat him again, but you can't even beat Pocahontas. Now, if she comes in and she's not polling very well, she's below Pocahontas, maybe even Bernie, you may see some shenanigans happen with with the primaries, It may be some coin tosses that don't go the way they're supposed to go. It may all go for Hillary Clinton. You'll see some of that going on. It happened last time. It'll happen again. There may be some unfortunate accidents that happen with one of Pocahontas' staffers or something. You're going to see it. Do not put it past these people to do things like that. They're crazy. That's a good question, Rapper 10,000. He says, isn't Obama up in Canada voter interference? I mean, according to the left, it would be. The left says that if a company based in Russia posts a Facebook ad or a meme, then that's election interference. So how is it not election interference for a former American president to go to Canada and then endorse a candidate over there? I don't really get it. Like, there has to be election interference if a company in Russia, it doesn't have to be Russian owned. You understand what I'm saying? A Russian company posts an ad on Facebook supporting Trump. That's election interference? Really? I mean, it's the craziest thing in the world. I don't understand how they're going to say that memes are election interference. It was like some of the most basic memes that don't even have any traffic. I mean, they had a screenshot of one meme on TV from Instagram with no likes, no nothing, and it was simple as, like, have you seen that meme with the two signs where one says like, if you go forward, it says Trump 2020, and if you take the off ramp, it says Bernie, or vice versa, and the guy's taking the off ramp real hard. That right there is considered election interference. Really? I mean, you can have a 13-year-old boy after school get on his mom's phone and do that and get 1 million followers on his Instagram page. For real. Like, I'm not even playing. I'm dead serious. Because I've seen somebody. Matter of fact, here it is. Yeah, I'm not, like, you thought I was playing? Watch. Check it out. I'm 100% serious with the screenshot. Look. Yes, this is on ABC. Okay. Has 174 likes, no comments, or it could be edited out. This is on ABC. So, my fact, I was wrong. It says Joe Biden rather than Trump. So, this is considered election interference. Like, really? A 12-year-old boy can get home from school, take his mom's iPad or his Mima's iPad and do this for 2 hours after homework or before homework, whatever, 1 hour before homework, and get 1 million followers on Instagram. That is considered election interference, not a citizen just wanting to participate. Even they might not even be here. They could be in China. They can be Russia. It don't matter where they are. It's a meme. I mean, come on. What are we talking about here? This was on ABC. Good Morning America. Matter of fact, hold on. You see the logo right there. I'm not playing at all. I'm dead serious. Matter of fact, let me see if I can zoom in. So this is what we're dealing with right here, folks. This is how crazy the left has gotten. You're posting memes on TV talking about this is election interference. I mean, come on. What are we even doing? Instagram stuff. A Meemaw, that's grandma. I heard Meemaw for the first time when I came down here. Yeah, that's grandma. But this is where we at nowadays. So it's like when people say CNN sucks, the media sucks, we're for real. Because that kind of thing is what you see on television all the time. And people really believe it. People have TDS, and the TDS is kind of like reinforced. I think the media causes TDS. If you have an illness or some kind of disease, you're looking for a cause, a root issue, look at the mainstream media and the politicians working together. Trump's evil, Trump's bad, Orange Man bad, whoop, 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 whoop. And then here comes the media backing it up, saying the exact same thing. You go outside, everybody saying the exact same thing, talking about the cages. What happened to that? Remember, that was talk of the town. You got these kids in cages, free the kids in cages. Where's the talk about that anymore? That kind of just vanished. Like, There's no more border detention centers. Ain't nobody getting locked up on the border no more. That's kind of like not even really a thing, because now the thing is all about Ukraine. The news media will make you think about a particular thing that they want to talk about. The border issue has not changed at all as far as people coming across and going into the facilities and getting put in quote unquote cages that Barack Obama built, but that's a different story. That's not changed, but the narrative now is switched, or has been switched, to Ukraine, because I feel like that's a bigger thing, and impeachment is going to be what's happening. You know, CNN talk about that a lot. What's my man's name? The CEO, Jeff Zucker. He has these morning meetings. So shout out to Project Veritas. In the morning meetings, he's talking about how best to stick it to Trump. Trump this, Trump that. They've become the Trump network. It's hilarious how TDS will make you support Trump even more. I saw this post where this old lady, 100 years old or something, was talking about how bad Trump is with a Trump hat in her hand. And then at the end, she threw the hat. But I could tell the hat came straight from the Trump store. So it was like, okay, you donated to Trump's campaign by buying a hat to throw it on the ground. It's like you're helping us. Give money to your own people and help them win. I mean, you're giving it to us. You're helping us win. You're giving us recognition. You're giving us airtime. You're giving us money. That's a crazy disease. You hurt yourself to try and hurt us. I mean, it's silly. But I'm going to get to the calls in just a moment. Thank you all for being here. The number to call is 434-658-1220. And shout out to everybody in here. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to, who do we have? Super Rude Dog, who says the media drives racist ignorance. It's destroying us. We are being robbed, blind of everything. Wake up. Just open your eyes. Time's wasting. Hey, I'm right there with you, man. Thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. You're right on point. Absolutely. They're driving all this. They're driving the wedge in between us. Now, not everybody's buying into it. You know, I think your average person is not really buying into it, but the really vocal people on the left, they're buying into it wholeheartedly. They're with it 100%. Nah, cages. Kids do not get really locked in cages. It's like these little fences. I mean, you can call it a cage or whatever you want, but, you know, it is what it is. When people get locked up here in the States, I mean, they get put into a cage. It's the same thing. There's no difference. You know, and I think it's more humane talking about those crossing the border illegally, because a lot of times they get put into they get put with their families sometimes into more secure facilities, better facilities than some of these jails where U.S. citizens go. And then when they get processed, sometimes they get a plane ride for free to wherever they want in the country where their other family, quote unquote, family is at. So they get treated very well. People just wanted to make that be a big thing to try and attack Trump with. But let me go ahead and get to my calls. Thank you, Shreebs. That's a thing I wanted to really do a lot more, have the opening personal thoughts and then get to the calls. So thank you for that, man. I appreciate you. Liza Jean says, is it true that the Kurds were training Antifa? I've not heard that, so I don't know. I wouldn't doubt it. But you know what? I might doubt that, because unless they came over here, I don't think that Antifa will go over there. They're not ready for that sand life. They're not ready for that, 110 degrees in the shade with no humidity, all sand. They're not ready for that life. With no water, they ain't ready for that. They're still kind of confined to their mom's basement drinking Starbucks as their only meal for the day. They're not really ready for that real hard sand life. They're not prepared for that. All right, but the number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me see here. And let's go ahead and get my settings open. Yeah, that hard life over there in the Middle East ain't no joke. I know guys that's been over there and they said that it's, it's not a game at all. It's 100% serious. Absolutely serious. Yeah, they couldn't handle it over there. Not at all. They could not handle that type of life. All right, call you on the line. Who am I speaking to? 347.
Joshua Perez. It's been a while, Anthony.
What's going on, Joshua?
Good. I am working again.
Good money, man. Good to hear it.
Yeah, about to get the CAG hat this Friday, actually this Saturday as well.
That's what's up, man. Sounds good to me, man. What's on your mind? What's happening?
Not much as of lately besides the GOP versus Schiff and the lynching and the Texas thing. But one thing I want to talk about is my workplace is very, very cucky, very cuck.
As you said, you have a cucky workplace. How was that so?
Well, it's not the workplace more, but the people around it is very, very left wing.
Okay,
Since I work in New York City, Manhattan.
So what do they talk about that makes you think that? Like, what are some of the conversations they have?
Well, no, not the conversation, but the people around me are very pro LGBTQ, not pro LGBTQ, ABC 1 2 3.
Yeah, the whole alphabet.
Yeah, I saw a pink, color hair, LGBT flags. They're probably very anti-Trump. They're actually very are anti-Trump.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect that. I mean, like I said, I was in New York for a little while. I was in LaGuardia, and I had my MAGA hat on. I was getting some of the kind of the craziest looks just from the airport, so I can imagine how the streets are. It's a whole different world out there.
Yeah, and it's also very controlled by big companies like iHeartRadio, with the Breakfast Club. So that's the big one. So yeah.
Yeah. I've seen Breakfast. I've seen them before, the Breakfast Club, and they just put out just straight leftist liberal stuff. They say that they're balanced. They'll have conservatives on there, but I've only seen liberals on there. Never a conservative. It's always leftist narratives, leftist rhetoric, and wherever they go individually is always the same thing. So it's terrible.
Yeah, absolutely. And the main thing I want to talk about is the GOP protest. Oh wow! Oh my goodness. No, it was nothing.
Are you good? Okay.
The GOP walkout.
Yeah, GOP walkout.
Only one thing I gotta say is beautiful, movimiento, because it's basically what Trump said in the tweet. It's a lynch mob because it's like the witch trial of Selma. Is basically false narratives. Like it was nothing in the Ukraine calls, and it also shows that the Democrats are hypocrites because they said lynching before during the Clinton impeachment trial. And Biden apologizing for saying it, he was right. It was basically a kind of a lynch, but Clinton had more stuff behind his back than way more than Trump does right now, and they're trying to impeach him. But I digress. And It shows that the Democrats, even though it might be a very high turnout in 2020. I think it's going to be high for the Republicans and moderate Democrats and independents might vote for Donald Trump. They might vote straight down ticket in 2020. And the Senate, which is controlled by the GOP, is going to make the seats are going to increase even bigger, probably to 56 or best case now 58. And I see the House flipping for the GOP in 2020. And we might see a Matt Gaetz or a Jim Jordan Speaker for the House of Representatives in 2020. And all I can say is the left keep on doing it.
I mean, yeah, if they keep on doing it, all they're going to do is just drive more people over to our side. Like I was saying earlier,
right.
People don't like this far left stuff. Regular everyday people don't like the craziness. They're just not with it. They want regular people to associate with, not the hooligans. They don't want it.
Right. And they're pissing on moderates as well. The moderate Democrats are getting pissed off right now. Like, you literally splitting them apart.
That's right.
Literally. And it's good by us. Like, as I said earlier, one lady throw a not like a official MAGA hat from Trump's store. You just basically bought the hat, buy the hat from Trump's store, and get it, then basically burn it or destroy it. You're basically hurting yourself. You're not hurting Trump. You're not hurting us like me in the right. You're hurting yourself.
That's right.
And it's kind of laughable.
Exactly.
And last thing I want to talk about is Texas being turned blue. I think it's BS. I'll explain why very quickly.
Well, I got a short period of time because I got to get to some more calls.
Yeah, let me quick. Texas votes based on character, like the Bushes. If Jeb Bush is president, he wins Texas by 25%, basically, because they're very unorthodox. They vote based on character, and they're very establishmentarian. But I see Texas going for Trump in 2020, probably by 55% margin, or a 10-point or 12-point margin. Because the establishment Republican voters are getting on board to Trump.
I'm with you, man.
Unlike they did in 2016.
No doubt.
Anyway, talk to you later.
I thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Definitely appreciate you too. Peace.
All right. Thanks, my man, for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Hey, I gotta show you this clip. I almost forgot about this one. This is the lady I was talking about, the grandma that had the MAGA hat. And this lady's like 100 years old, and she was talking about how, well, my friend, I'll just roll it. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Grandma Winnie. I'm 100 years old, and all I want for my birthday is for someone to impeach this sucker.
Okay, so she threw the hat, but here's the thing about it. That is an official hat. I could tell because I've had official hats. It comes straight from the website. So if you go to DonaldJTrump.com and buy a hat, it counts as a contribution to the campaign. It's a donation to the campaign. So all you did in trying to make this little video to try and come against Trump is hurt yourself because you donated to us. If you don't like Trump, why would you give him money? It doesn't make any sense at all. But hey, when you have TDS or when you got people that are like making their meemaw do stuff like this, you'll do things that don't make any sense. You'll give money to the opposing side to try and hurt them and embarrass them. If you want to do that, hey, I say everybody make it be a challenge. Buy a few hats from the Donald Trump store. Buy 100 hats from the Donald Trump store and do whatever you want with them. Because at the end of the day, you bought it. We got the money in our campaign. So you're helping us. So thank you. I appreciate it. But let me get to the next call. All right, call you on the line, 631. Who am I speaking to?
What's going on, ABL? It's Tim with Forgotten Millennials. How are you?
Everything's good, man. What's going on?
Doing well. Just wanted to get your take on impeachment. In my opinion, I think Trump should be impeached. I hope he gets impeached, and I hope the Senate blocks the hell out of it and he gets reelected for 2020. It's going to be funny.
Yeah, man. I see your point. I see your view because it's not going to go anywhere. The Senate, they can't vote on it. For number one, there's nothing really there. I mean, if you're going to set that precedent for what Trump did being somehow illegal or improper, whatever, enough to get him impeached, then you're going to put a lot of others in the same boat because it's a normal thing that happens in D.C., number one. Number two, they're not going to vote to convict him because it's public. And you're going to have at least, I think, 19 or 20 people they got to kind of like be a turncoat. So you won't have that many people to come out and be a turncoat because they don't want to have their careers be damaged. They just don't want it. They may want to come out and vote for impeachment, but they can't do it. So you're not going to have it happen. So yeah, go ahead and impeach. See what's going to happen. It's going to backfire. It won't work. It'll make him stronger. Like already he's in the position to be reelected pretty strongly. If you do the impeachment thing, it'll make it that much stronger. You're not going to succeed. You'll be seen as a failure. You can't govern. And it might affect them not only as far as the presidency, but also in the Congress. We might mess around and get House, Senate, and the presidency all locked up Republican. So we could do whatever we want at that point, and there will be no more resistance at all.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It sounds like he's about to do a sweep of 350 to 400 electoral votes in an average turnout election. I think that's pretty interesting. And I think with this, just the optics of impeachment, from Nancy Pelosi's perspective, I just don't understand it because all these other candidates are getting thrown into the woodwork like Joe Biden. It's hurting him as much as impeachment's being talked. Ukraine's being talked about. When Ukraine's talked about, Hunter Biden's talked about, he's talked about. It doesn't make any sense from a strategic standpoint. Kind of leads me to my next question. How much money you got on Hillary Clinton running in 2020?
If I was a betting man, I'd put everything I got in my pocket on it because I think.
I've got 50 and predicted right now. So.
Because, she's talking like she's going to run. Why would you even be out here talking about, why would you be saying anything at all? You're not running. You're not in government. What are you doing? You're trying to run. You're trying to run again. You're talking about Tulsi Gabbard. You're trying to attack people that are in the primary, as if you were there yourself. So yeah, I think she'll run, but it'd be hilarious to see her fall behind Pocahontas in the polls. That'd just be fantastic to see.
I just don't see, I'm actually quite impressed at how Elizabeth Warren and the media has been able to prop her up and kind of just make her a phoenix out of this whole Pocahontas situation. I just don't understand it. But with, Bernie seems after the heart attack, he seemed to be falling behind. Kamala Harris is falling behind. She had that early start. But with Hillary Clinton, the star power is there. The money's there. No one else seems to be having the money. It just doesn't make any sense to me that she wouldn't. And she has no shame. We've seen this over and over again. Both of them, both the Clintons have absolutely no shame. Bill Clinton will get head underneath the desk, lie about it, get impeached anyway, and then the other one won't just stop blaming Russia for everything that's around her. It's sad, but I think it's what's going to happen, and hopefully it's a nice kick in the butt for a lot of companies out there that are trying to go woke.
That's right. Absolutely.
What else is going on in your end, man? How's Virginia? Because I got out here in Colorado, the promised land, not too long ago, and it's been kind of been a dream out here.
Oh no, I'm gone from Virginia. I live in Tennessee now, but I was in Virginia recently.
Oh really?
Yeah. I've been here for about a couple of years, but I'm from Virginia, of course. So I was there twice this year. I went once in August, and then I went again at the end of September. So it was cool. One thing about it is that traffic, man. I don't miss that traffic because I was going to a place that was across the water, like a Newport News, but I was staying in Chesapeake. So having to go across that tunnel, man, it was a beast. And then the heavy rain here, it gets what they call it, the microburst. So I'm driving, it's just a torrential downpour, rain everywhere. I pull over, I get off on the exit. I'm like, okay, I can't drive in this. And then I come back on the interstate to right where I was. It was an accident right where I got off on the exit. So I'm like, okay. And then coming across the high-rise bridge, back to Greenbrier that way, it was raining again, and I saw an 8-car pileup. I was like, man, this is crazy, man. I'm glad I escaped.
With that, it's hail out here in that case. Get slammed with hail out of absolute nothingness, and just the house is gonna be replaced, all the roofs and the cars. It's quite a new experience out here seeing golf ball size hail. Haven't seen that before, but it beats hurricanes.
Wow, yeah, that's true. That's true. You're definitely not going to be in the line of sight of a hurricane, but you're up on that mountain, you will get that hail. So it's a trade off.
So what's your prediction where this Tulsi Gabbard thing's going to go? I think she's riding it. I think Crowder's still doing on this YouTube brigade of defending Democrats and trying to figure out YouTube's algorithm. But these guys just got to get off site more and more. It just doesn't make any sense to me to not go that route. Just get off the platform entirely. How's YouTube been treating you?
Oh, it's fine. The thing about YouTube is that you just got to know how to kind of manipulate the system. Or I don't want to say that. That might be the wrong word to say. Just kind of how to play within it, because they always make changes. So you got to understand how to adapt, and you also got to understand how to leverage it and how to do other things. I have a lot of other things that I do that is kind of centered around YouTube, but it's not YouTube. I'm traveling more, doing stuff like that. Just trying to branch out and not just solely rely upon YouTube.com. Just do other things. That's kind of how I look at it. I kind of just zoom out and look at the bigger picture rather than just one particular platform.
Yeah, I finally got my own footage California documentary out, which I covered with Hard Bastard, but it's a good time. I saw stuff that no one should see in this country. But there's people just lying around in the streets, basically cartel-looking police officers in jeans and bulletproof vests just walking the streets. There's spice, getting dealt in the tents. It's absolutely insane. And that was just before I moved out here. That California, I don't understand. Like, it's actually happening in Denver a lot too. I'm seeing they're allowed to, defecate in the streets legally. It's spreading, and I don't know, how it's going to be stopped. And conservatives really got to start stepping it up.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you.
All right, man. Well, I won't take up much of your time. I got stuff to do. You got stuff to do. You got people to call. So it's good talking with you again. It's been a while since I called in, so I'll talk to you soon. All right.
All right. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
No problem. Take it easy.
All right, shout out to my man for the call. Yeah, it's been a little while since he called in. My man from Virginia, living out there in Colorado. Yeah, man. I like Virginia. It's home, but I had to go ahead and leave. I like visiting. I like Virginia, West Virginia. Born in West Virginia, raised in Virginia, so I like both places. I like being able to go to visit, but I like where I'm at right now to live. So shout out to everybody in Virginia and shout out to everybody in the chat. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give me the thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, and if you're not subscribed already, I don't know what's going on. Go ahead and subscribe right now and click the bell right beside the subscribe button. If you click that bell, you get notified whenever I go live or post a new video. So do that for me right now. I definitely appreciate it. Let me get to the next call. All right, No Lil King, what's happening?
Hey man, not much. How are you?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Yeah, man. So what happened in Canada should be a warning to you guys not to get cocky, man.
Yeah. So I mean, now was it a widespread thought that he would lose or that he would win? Like, what was the vibe like in Canada during the whole campaign process?
Well, earlier in the year, people pretty much thought he was gonna lose. But because there was a splinter between the Conservative Party, I don't know if you know much about them splitting with PPC and the Conservative Party.
No.
Yeah, so it's Scheer is the leader of the Conservative Party, and there was a guy Bernier who thought that they weren't conservative enough, so he started his own party, the PPC, the People's Party of Canada. So they were focusing a lot more on lowering the immigration. When I called in, I talked a little bit about it before, right?
Yeah.
So the thing with Scheer is he's conservative, but he's not as outspoken. He was kind of like a beta leader, right? Because he didn't want to cause any trouble or be too controversial, right? Mm-hmm. So Trudeau was using that against him. You have this guy Bernier from the PPC who's saying stuff, to Canadians, for him to say stuff like, oh, we have too much immigration, we need to lower it. Trudeau is painting him as a racist. And then he's saying, oh, look at Scheer. Scheer is not disagreeing. Even though Scheer doesn't outright say, this is what he believes inside. And Scheer, during the debates, he's just kind of like twiddling his thumbs and being passive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Trudeau is kind of using the same tactic that Trump is using with Ocasio-Cortez, right? Like saying, look at Ocasio-Cortez, she's representing the Democrats. You know what I mean?
Right.
And Scheer, instead of being a man and standing up and saying, no, it's not true, this is my platform, he was just basically trying to be friendly with everybody, and I think that's what cost him.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. Now,
the question I would have is, if you were to break down the votes by percentage, if you were to add Scheer and Bernier's total, would it be more than Trudeau?
No, it wouldn't be. And this is the thing. People do mention this, but what you need to understand is we have a lot of immigrants who come here who have a conservative mentality, and when you have the media telling them that conservatives are evil, and then you have these extremist PPC guys who talk about them like they're cockroaches. Because I tried speaking with some people who vote for PPC. Like I was in this big community, a YouTube page. Yeah. I won't advertise them, but they were getting ready for the debates and everything. And the way they talk about immigrants, the way that they treat them, they make them feel uncomfortable, right? So I was even saying to them, like, you guys want to win this election, but you're treating people just because they're from a different country, they have the same values as you, but because they have a different skin color or because they came from here, you're treating them like cockroaches. You're treating them coming here as an invasion. The liberals are very good at making people feel included, making them feel like they're family, even though the policies are not necessarily the best for them, right?
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of what the Democrats do. But we don't have a leader, a conservative leader, who's going to tell them that, hey, we're here for you too, right? Because, in the past, people just thought of the Republicans as the white people's party. And now you have a guy like Trump who he's open, right? He treats everybody equally. He doesn't look at black people and say, oh, I'm not going to criticize them. You know what I mean? He'll outright say to Maxine Waters, what you're doing is wrong. So I think that's what it is. We just needed a strong leader, and we didn't have that, unfortunately.
I see. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I even had a debate with my brother, and he brought up Trump. He's like, yeah, Trump is he's gonna get impeached. And I said, buddy, a year ago you were saying the same thing about Russia. Like, what is it gonna take for you to see that maybe the media is being dishonest? And he was saying, where are your facts, your figures? And I gave him all those things, and he's just like, oh, you worship Trump, right? So that's why I'm just saying, you guys shouldn't get too cocky. Don't be complacent. Like, get out there, vote, be a good example. That's the main reason that I called. I don't know if the PPC not being around would have made that much of a difference, but it surely hurt a little bit.
Right. I'm with you.
Anyway, man, it was great talking to you. I hope I'm not talking too low. There's someone sleeping, so I don't want to be too loud, but it was good talking to you, man.
Thank you for the call, as always, man. Definitely appreciate it.
All right, peace.
All right, thank you to my man Nolo King for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Man, it's a good point he made. Don't get too cocky. I can like it's over. Now, you still got to go out there and vote. It's not over yet. The fat lady ain't saying yet, so it ain't over with. So you got to go out there and just seal the deal for sure. Because the left will be out there. But one thing I got to say, I think that the enthusiasm for the left will be less. Because what's happening right now is that all the Democrats are in primary mode. So they're going to try to appeal to the far leftists to get the primary vote, because those going to be ones that's out there voting in the primary. The people that are really involved, the crazies, they're going to be the ones out there voting. So they're going to try to appeal to them, and they got to try to come back to center. They're going to have a hard time doing it because they're so far to the left. So we'll have the advantage, but we can't act like that's enough to have the advantage. Go out there and vote still. But let me get to my next call. 719, your line was speaker to.
Hello?
Yeah, 719.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
Not bad. From Colorado. I know Trump watches your show because, that's how he finds out how, the little people really talk, how we care about being stomped on and all that. So I appreciate you having a show like this. It gives everybody a chance to have a voice, even if it's just over the telephone, But I wanted to tell you that Trump needs to realize and get his happy butt out here. Colorado is ripe for a takeover for Democrat to Republican. I mean, he only lost by 5 points last time, and things are not good here. Me and my husband are on Social Security, and between the two of us, we make $25,000 a year. That's what we live on, between the two of us on our Social Security. And the welfare department's out here now. Like Medicaid and stuff, we no longer qualify. We make too much money as a secondary insurance through Medicaid. We have our Medicare, but Medicare really doesn't cover jack shit. So the Medicaid was supposed to help older people. Well, we're told now there's no money left for us, that $25,000 a year is too much over. So me and my husband, to get in to see a doctor, even a specialist, is almost impossible, because who the hell has even $500 extra laying around for a test, even after your Medicare covers most of it? So most of these people that voted last time thinking that, and honestly, I'll be honest, it's from so many illegals being on the system. It's being ate up. There's nothing left. So Trump, get on the phone with his happy butt and tell him, get his butt down here to Colorado, because they are right. People that voted last time for Democrat, they're saying now, wait a minute, you told me nothing was going to change. Well, everything's changed. Kids aren't being seen down here because The welfare systems don't count them. They make too much money now. Anything over $24,000 a year is too much money for two people. So I know Trump watches your show, so please tell him, quit messing around and get down here. We're ripe for a takeover. He doesn't realize how easy it would be to turn Colorado, but he keeps running around us, not paying attention. I love your show, and have a great day.
All right, thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Thank you for having the show. Appreciate it.
All right now.
Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate her. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point she made there. And I think that Trump, he does a pretty good job of being able to listen to the people, because there's been some things that he's done and things that he said. He come out with like certain proposals, and he'll back down off of it if he feels like the people don't like what's going on or they're not really with it. He's a man of the people. That's the thing. Others just pass a law and say, yo, if you don't like it, oh well, too tough. But Trump will listen to the people and be like, okay, is this working? Like, he'll just say a thing, throw it out there, and if you like it, he'll rock with it. If not, he might back off. So, man, I like that, though, because you're a person that's not so rigid in their particular belief. But let me get to this next call. I know caller on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Lance.
All right, Lance, what's going on?
How you doing, brother?
Everything's good.
Oh man, yeah. So sorry, I had to mute my computer real quick. I didn't know I would get in, man. I've always been listening to your show for a while, and one of the things is this week I decided to call in, right? Because I really enjoy your content, man, and I'm glad you open a lot of people's, a lot of people, especially people like black people, from a different perspective, so we understand what's really going on. And not only that, you're not just catering to us, and I like that. So everybody knows different sides of things. One of the main reasons why I called in, because I was born and raised in Florida, right? And I've been living in Canada for about a decade or more. And are you there?
I'm here, yes.
Yeah, one of the things that really got to me was when I first came to this country, because I have family, I noticed a very disconnect. Now, before I go any further, I want to let people understand, because a lot of people, even Canadians, do not understand their own politics. And I see it as an outsider and an insider because I've lived here for a while. What Canada is really, you don't have a conservative party. They don't. So what they have is, and I'm not going to swear, I'm going to try to keep it PG, is they got center left, they got left, they got too far left, and they got the thing that flies in the air with the feces left. That's what I call them, right?
Right.
And it's not trying to be biased to that. That's what I've noticed. They're not like America conservative. They'll never be. The country was founded on a very left-wing way of doing things. And the problem is, I heard a caller recently, he just talked about how the PPC shit on the immigrants. That's not true.
Caller, you can't cuss, caller.
Oh, sorry, brother, sorry. He crap on the immigrants, right? So that's not true. The problem is, it's just like when people go in a forum and they see like the minority of few saying something they might not like, they now decide that they think that everybody's against certain type of people. The thing is, man, you got to be honest with people. You can't spoon feed them. It's not, they don't crap on them. It's just what it is. I looked into Maxime and the PPC party when he split, he was going to be like the closest thing to conservative that you were going to get. But part of the problem with this country is that it all starts with the fact is it's under liberal rule and it will never change. The mentality of the people, it cannot change. And I've realized that, especially since when this election happened, right? Because the reason is you got a man that's dressed in blackface. Blackface. How much, the blackface thing don't never really offend me, because to me, I look at it like, if you want to dress up in shoe polish and look like an idiot, then that's your problem, right? But for the main part was that what more can he do for you to realize that something is wrong with this brother? He's out of his mind. Don't vote for people like that. It lets you realize how much they're really under liberal rule, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I don't mean to discourage a lot of people. It's like it all has a lot to do with when you look at, Maxime spoke about the dairy and egg cartel and bread. They're not allowed to export anything here. They did that as a rule. So in this country, they pay 3 to 4 times or 5 times what anybody else does for milk and eggs. Now, once you start to change party power, that's not going to happen anymore. They don't want that. They want more government. They want the best way to decide this. When I first came, I realized they had this social health care. I said to a guy, I said, man, let me ask you a question. What happens here with your health care? It says it feels good that you just give your money to the government, right? And they just get the job done. I was like, what? I couldn't believe somebody said that because I work hard for my money. Their mentality is we're just going to give the money to the government and they're going to take care of everything. Now, let me ask you a question, ABL. How do you change the mind of people like that?
I mean, you can't really do that. Not when they're adults, because
right.
Yeah, I mean, some people, if they're gonna be open-minded, they may be willing to accept change, but you can't you can't go to a person that if they close off, they're not really trying to hear it. You're not gonna be able to really reach them.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it took like this thing to happen, this voting time, because I went to bed and I looked at it, and a lot of people don't understand how it works, so they're like, oh, the conservative had the populist vote. That don't mean nothing. They weren't gonna win, right? Because the seat, it's a seat thing the way they do it. So basically. The why Maxime was calling about the immigration, he says he wants more economic immigration. He's not trying to stop immigration. See, a lot of people, same thing they try to do with Trump, right? Nobody's trying to stop immigration because you can't stop immigration. We want more beneficial immigration, right? We don't want you to flock the border with everybody because I saw that whole thing when I was growing up. That's what people were doing. You're just flocking the border with certain people. You're pretty much bringing in your votes. It's wrong. It shouldn't be done, but they still do it anyways. But the best way to top this off, I went to junior high school at Thelma Hamilton in New York City, right? I think it was PS 276. I forgot the number. That's how New York is, on Brownsville. And same neighborhood where Tyson grew up. And I remember we had a mock vote. And I was 13 years old. I thought this was real, right? I was 13. I was like, whatever. But I remember, I think it was Dole versus Clinton back then. And we all voted. And I remember at the end, all of black people, everybody, the Hispanics, they turned to me and said, hey, man, you vote liberal, right? And I said, what? I said, what do you mean I vote liberal? He says, I said, why should I vote liberal? He said, because that's what we do. I was like, what? Who's we? I was like, anybody tell me about this? Right? Because I grew up in a household where, you do you. But then at 13 years old is when I realized, man, how powerless we were going to become. And I was right. And at that time, I saw that. And I'm like, who you mean is we? And that's the mentality that everybody's got, this we thing. I'm like, I'm not a Siamese twin. I came out of my mom, but just was me. So I'm like, the decision I made, and I've always had more conservative views. So I've never been a liberal a day in my life. I just never believed in any of that stuff because I realized it was going to be to destroy the fabric of mankind. I understand you got to take care of certain people that's handicapped, that's invalid. I get it. But as far as that goes, man, you got to go out there and get your own. But like I said, with that we mentality, that's Canada in a nutshell. And I don't want to discourage anybody. They ain't never going to change. So, that I just wanted to bring it out for a lot of people that don't really understand how this works, because there's a lot of talking. They don't really understand. It's like, once you look in their politics, man, you realize that they just bet, out there. So, I just wanted you viewers to understand that it is, because I got so discouraged on the 21st when I looked for the first time, actually. You ever sat and felt powerless, man? That's how I felt. That's why I'm calling in. I'm talking to you so you can hear. For the first time, I actually felt like, how you going to talk to these people? Everybody, if you're giving everybody everything free, that's what they want, and they're taxing the rich, the tax bracket is crazy. And they know it ain't going to work, but it is what it is, man. I just want to get it off my chest. So I appreciate it.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.
Wow, great call. Hey, made a whole lot of sense there. Yeah, definitely. But see, that's what happens when you condition the people. When you condition them to say, oh, well, the government got it. Don't even worry about it. Just give them the money, and then they'll take care of it. Where's the individuality? Where's the personal freedom? Where's personal responsibility? Where's that at? Does it exist? Just say, hey, I mean, and then at what point do you say the government cannot interfere in my life, and I can't just rely on them to do everything for me? You're creating a society where everybody's just dependent, and those that aren't dependent are seen as racist, regardless of what race they are. It's really weird. But thank y'all for being here. I definitely appreciate you guys. A lot of great calls tonight so far. I'm gonna keep on rocking. 301, you know line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up with your boy JB? What's up, brother?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
No day never dies. You know how the hustle go.
No doubt.
Yeah, I was gonna call in. Did you hear about the this whole lynching thing he mentioned? I'm like, come on now, Trump's been lynching everybody losing their damn mind. Lynching is a man thing. I said, but they're allowed to say it. When I was talking about Clinton, right? Yeah, but they're allowed to say it, but we can't say it.
Right. I mean, like they say pretty much whatever they like. They don't. Whatever they do is okay, but anything that we do on the right is wrong. It don't matter if it's right or wrong in their book. They'll make it be wrong because it's us. It's silly.
Exactly. Like just like the whole Elijah Cummings thing. And I made a comment on Facebook talking about like, hey, his wife is in winning for his money. I'm like, come on, the dude's like 70 years old. His wife's like 43. Come on now, this is a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? And then she trying to take his seat, I believe, isn't she? She trying to run for his seat. You heard about that?
You said what now?
It said his wife might be running for his seat. In the Senate.
Yeah. I heard about that. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. And she might win. I wouldn't be surprised. It's just a particular area. Like the previous caller was talking about, when you are in a particular place where this is what they've been indoctrinated to believe in, where, I mean, you can't really go to them and be like, oh, this ain't right. Some are going to jump on and be like, maybe you're correct. But when people have been born and raised like that, it's really hard to change them, especially if they're adults.
Exactly. It's like a form of brainwashing.
Correct. Yes.
And it seems to me like you can't say nothing about any Democrat, Republican Democrat, without no backlash. Even if they're wrong, dead wrong. Like Clinton, she's attacking her for what? For what? And then conspiracy theory number one is, I'm thinking she's just doing this to make Hillary try to jump in the race. You never know the way they play the game. Am I right?
Yeah, that definitely could be what's going on.
Yeah. Everybody, you're crazy for saying that. You know what you're talking about. I'm like, you think real hard about this. It seems so they try to pull on every. And you know what though? He'll never get impeached. He will never get impeached in the Senate, because the thing about it, they're having secret meetings, and you can't talk to nobody, and you're not allowed to have counsel. I'm like, what? Where they do that at?
Yeah, I mean, it's all just a bunch of it's a big song and dance. They might as well go on Broadway and get paid.
Exactly. They're all actors, and especially that dude Green, he's the biggest actor. Your president, number 43, used the word lynching, and that was the most embarrassing thing I've heard in my life. Get the heck out of here. I call myself. But you know what I'm saying? It's just frustrating to me that these token Negroes, token Negroes in Senate in the House is going against him, and then they're going to Tulsi Gabbard calling her a Russian spy. She's in the damn military. She did 3 tours in the military. Ain't nobody she didn't do any military time. Get the heck out of here. That's the part that makes me mad. That's the part that really irritates me. And you know what though? I hope Tulsi Gabbard run and splits the vote. So Democratic. I hope she does run and she splits the vote so badly, because Elizabeth Warren can't win. Bernie Sanders, he won't make it. He'll probably pass away. Don't wish that on him, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Yeah, like that may be that. I think that's probably why Hillary Clinton came out and said something, because she don't want that to happen. She knows that if Tulsi Gabbard goes third party, it'll split the Democratic vote, and it'll make it that much easier for Trump to win, and it would be an embarrassing loss for the Democrat. You're talking about like well over 400 electoral votes. It'd be a total landslide. It'd be embarrassing for them if that happened.
And you know what though? It's just mind-boggling. Am I right, ABL? It's mind-boggling how people are actually going against. They have no common sense. They're like they're being really brainwashed or everything to hate somebody, and then they're attacking Melania Trump. She has nothing to do with her husband. Am I right?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm not going to your time up, ABL, but a pleasure to get online. But before I go, are you getting a new Call of Duty?
Nah, I played it. I played the beta, and I don't know. Like, I don't. I'll put it to you like this: I've not seen enough from it to go ahead and get it yet. If I see some good gameplay, I might rock with it. So maybe.
That's what I was thinking too. Like me, I ain't gonna lie, I'm still playing GP5. It's a classic. I mean, it's always updating. I'm like, it's always somebody online playing. Like, it's just a fun game all the way around. Open world. You can't go wrong with it.
That's right.
Yeah, but yeah, ABL, man, keep the faith up, brother, man. Keep the good work up, brother, man. Don't nobody deter you. All right, brother?
All right, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, peace.
Peace. All right, thank you to my man JB for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me get to the next call. All righty, Matt, what's happening?
Hey, ABL, how you doing?
Everything's great, man. Can't complain.
Oh, fantastic.
All right, Brandon, man, what's happening?
Hey, I wanted to tell you about a couple things. I wanted to talk about Mitt Romney. I was a delegate for Washington State in 2016, and I wanted to talk about how Mitt Romney basically handed the election to Trump.
Okay.
So, like in 2012, it had everything to do with Ron Paul. Have you ever heard of this story before?
I don't think I have.
So the story is that in case people don't know about how the elections were run, there's a delegate process where the delegates are sent to the conventions, and this is sort of where the nominations come from. And what Mitt Romney had did in order to prevent Ron Paul from being able to speak in 2012, because you get nominated from the floor during the RNC, and I think it was 8 states, Ron Paul had won 8 states in terms of the delegates that had shown up, and they did a rule change. It's a really famous thing that you can Google. There's a video of it where John Boehner had taken a voice vote on this rule change during lunch, and they changed it so that you had to have even more states in order to be nominated. And I think they even discounted like the Virgin Islands and a couple other delegations at that time. But it made it so that the Never Trumpers, I ran two caucuses here in Washington State in 2016, and there was a lot of Never Trumpers at the time. And because the rules had rolled over, no single candidate out of the 18 candidates could put forward a plurality of 8 or more states. So none of the Never Trumpers had a chance, and it was the rule changes that Mitt Romney had put in to prevent Ron Paul from speaking that made it so that there couldn't be any floor fight whatsoever, and Donald Trump was basically coronated.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. So, but conversely, one of these rule changes was that all the delegates have to be bound to the plural vote. Well, Donald Trump is a popular candidate, and he won a plurality into so many states that no delegate could break from the primary result. So if you look at the lay of the Republican Party, all of the delegates are bound to the primary until the second slate. In order to get to the second slate, you have to have someone that won the plurality of states. But the Democrats, so this whole thing is couched in the fact that Mitt Romney's kind of a traitor. And when it comes to the DNC, they have a completely different system. They actually have more of what would be a Republican system. And they have a floor fight. So when they run a lot of their caucuses, they actually have like someone standing with a sign that says, "Hey, I'm supporting Elizabeth Warren. Come over to me," and people will rally around that sign. And then another person will have a sign that will have Buttigieg or whatever, and they'll go and rally around that sign. But to get nominated, you just have to have enough people. Depending on the state, you have to have enough people for the sign. Well, Hillary Clinton is going to run. She's coming in, and she's going to run against Donald Trump in 2020. And the way that she's going to do it is they're just going to come in and basically take over all the local delegations. And they're going to do it through the old-fashioned caucus system.
I see.
Yeah, but the Democrats have sort of a Republican way of doing it, and the Republicans have a Democratic way of doing it, which is really crazy.
No doubt.
the MCAS. Have you been following what's been happening to Boeing and MCAS
No.
and their software issue?
You're talking about the jets that got sidelined? Yeah.
Yeah, this whole thing. So, I didn't program MCAS, but I was in the same room as the people that did. And I dealt with a lot of the Boeing requirements and stuff like that. I own a small aviation company. But the MCAS is really bad news, for both Boeing and the FAA. It's got nothing to do with software. The software was basically designed to, and it did what it was designed to do. They used the AOA vanes to run primary flight controls. And right now they're blaming it on software, but really the 737 MAX needed a bigger elevator because when they put bigger wings on it and bigger engines, they didn't put an elevator that was big enough to control the aircraft. So it was sort of like the aircraft had T-Rex arms, so to speak. But there's a big problem with the FAA, and this whole Boeing situation, it really could exacerbate the economy leading into the 2020 elections as well. Particularly,
so the planes like that have been sidelined. You're saying it's a hardware issue. It's not software.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with software. Software is kind of the boogeyman. What I think ended up happening, and this isn't in the NTSB reports or any of the reports, about the Lion Air, it's a multifaceted problem. Like what I think happened is actually a maintenance stand hit the aircraft or something like that, and the AOA vanes that are on the side that tell the aircraft what the angle of attack is, they're real sensitive and they can get banged and damaged and stuck. And I think that's what happened is one of them got stuck. But they're not supposed to be used in flight controls. They're just the stick shaker to tell the flight crew that the aircraft had stalled, or that you were coming up on a stall. But they used them in the control law. So they took those signals and mixed them in to the control law to make the elevators, which are the part, the tail section, which is the empennage, to make the elevators have more authority. They used the stab trim to do that. And they shouldn't have done it. They should have put bigger elevators on so that the aircraft was more responsive. So the software was used as a Band-Aid, as like a workaround, but you could have wired it, you could have put wires in and done the same thing, but software was not the problem. It was the design and the regulatory body that was the problem.
I see. I got you.
Yeah.
Well, man.
Yeah, those are the two things I got to tell you about, man.
Well, thank you for the call as always, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, be good.
All right, same to you.
Hitler's gonna run, so get ready for that.
I'm ready, man. I can't wait.
Yeah. All right, take it easy.
All right, same to you.
Bye.
All right, thanks to my man Matt for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Yeah, those jets. I've not been on one of those. I don't think. I've been on quite a few planes, but not that one. Thank goodness. Let me get to my next call. All right, call you on the line 617. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, it's Ivan, man.
All right, Alvin, what's going on?
Those guys are scary, man. The woman from Colorado, the old lady that she wants to vote for Trump, and then she having a problem seeing a doctor because Medicare don't cover enough. I got some news for her. Trump's planning to cut Medicare by billions of dollars, so tell her to get ready for the next 10 years. So she want to vote for Trump, that's fine. She won't be able to see a doctor now or afford it to pay for the medication for whatever. She will have less chances if she vote for Trump. If Trump wins, that's what he plans to do.
If you cut spending, you can make sure that it's efficient and gets to where it has to go. You can cut spending in different ways. Just because you cut spending don't mean that you're going to have people that go without that actually need it. You can cut fraud, waste, and abuse.
That mean okay. So you have to regulate the cost for medical procedures, right? Hospitals. You're gonna have to cut everything. You can't just cut one area. You cannot cut the budget and then pay the hospital the same amount of money we're paying now. So it doesn't work that way. So you see the ignorance. I'm talking. I'm not. I mean, I'm listening.
Like you're saying, like you're saying that it has to, sir. You're saying that the cuts have to be in the amount of money that you give to the hospital, but that's not necessarily true. Just cut.
True.
I'm not. Sir, I'm going to finish. And you're gonna not talk because I'm talking right now. If you do talk, can nobody hear you? You're saying that if there's cuts to these programs that you have to just pay the hospital less. That's not necessarily the case. You could just cut the fraud, waste, and abuse and get these illegal aliens off of these programs so you could free up some money for American citizens. How about that?
For your better information, illegal aliens only get emergency, going to the hospital for the emergency. If you don't have a Social Security, a valid Social Security number or a valid, information, you don't get Medicare. You don't get Medicaid, and then you don't get Medicare. So that's off the.
Okay, so when the illegals are going, sir, I'll let you talk. Now it's my turn to talk. Now, so when illegals, when I'm talking, nobody can hear you at all. So it's fun how I can do that, and I can't hear you either. So it's even better. Now, so when illegals go to the ER for their health care, who pays for that?
What did you say?
When illegals go to the ER for their health care, who pays for that?
I mean, if they don't pay, the taxpayer pick up the tab.
Huh?
If they don't pay, when they send in the bill, the taxpayers pick up the tab.
Okay, thank you.
So that means we're going to have immigration officers checking to see who's legal and who's not legal when you go to a hospital?
Ask for ID.
Somebody get into a car accident, they're going to be like, oh, do you have any papers? How are we going to figure that out?
Ask for ID.
So that means we're going to have the connection. You're going to have an ID, and then we're going to have somebody connected with all the hospital connected with immigration, right? That's how we're going to do it?
Now, if you are a legal resident, you have an ID that's given to you because you're legal. It's simple. It's not a hard thing to understand.
But you could have, there's a lot of people on DACA that have driver license. There's a lot of people who have TPS, they have driver license, but they are not legal. They are not really legal. They could still be deported by the system.
Well, a good way to.
We're going to do. We're going to be checking IDs.
Well,
okay, move on.
check IDs. Let's like if I go to the hospital, sir. If I go to the hospital, sir, I gotta talk. If I go to the hospital, I'm they ask for my ID, proof of insurance, and all of that. So why should an illegal alien be any different than me as an American citizen? I don't understand.
I'm not saying. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you what Trump's planning to do, and she will be affected. And she's talking about we're ready to take over.
That's your opinion.
Because she's ignorant. She's ignorant, and she doesn't know anything.
That's your opinion.
I already move on. I move on to the next step. The next step, what I want to talk about is the impeachment proceeding. Like they talk about Clinton, it was different than what happened to Trump. Now, pretty much, the Republicans are pretty much they're kind of on the way of the impeachment process. There's no collaboration with them. The guy, I can't remember the guy's name, that was given, went to the Congress with the closed door meeting. Pretty much what he says that Trump said it clearly. I need a favor from you. This is what I need a favor from you. And then they say, what kind of favor? Say, well, we won't give you any aid for the military until you investigate what happened in 2006.
Is that what he said?
And you investigate. That's what he said.
Was that in the transcript?
Not in the transcript.
Okay, so it was not in the transcript. Okay.
But what it was in the text message with the ambassador and then the other guy, I can't remember his name. What it was in the text message.
So did Trump say that?
Well, that's what
yes or no. It's a yes or no question, please, sir.
Well, that's what the
the question. I ask you one more time. I ask one more time, sir. I'll let you speak and let me speak. Let me get the question out, and then you'll be able to answer. Is that what Trump said? You're talking while I'm talking, but nobody can hear you. It's kind of funny. So it's like weird. I'm talking to myself because nobody can hear you. And I turn my speakers off, so I can't hear you either. I'm going to turn my speakers back on, and then after I get done saying a statement, you're able to respond. Did Trump say that? Yes or no?
Yeah, he say that. According to the ambassador, he say that.
So you don't have any evidence? Okay, I got you.
Well, that's what he said. Why you should not believe him?
All right, I mean, there's no evidence. I'm just saying, like in the transcript.
Why you should not
sir,
believe him?
look, in the transcript of the phone call, that was not said.
But why they put that transcript of that phone call in a secure server when there was nothing confidential that we're talking about?
I don't know. You tell me.
Oh, so they're hiding something. It's gonna
that's your opinion.
It's gonna come out.
Sir, the real answer, the answer is, you asked me why they put on a secure server. I said I don't know. You don't know either. You're just making assumptions. See, I'm not gonna make an assumption.
So the impeachment is not even an impeachment. It's an impeachment inquiry that they're doing now. And then the Republicans don't want to correct. I remember when Clinton got it, the impeachment proceeded for Clinton got impeached because he had sex with Monica. Not because he had sex, because he lied to the Congress. The Republicans jumped right into the boat, impeach him. Lindsey Graham said that impeach him. He gave a speech in the floor of the Congress, impeach him. Now he's saying that it's different. Why is he saying that it's different now?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Lindsey. I didn't hear what Lindsey Graham said.
Oh, so it's different now. So even Kasich said that he lied on their oath and deserved to be impeached. And the reason that he lied because he wanted to protect his marriage. I mean, he's not gonna tell the whole world.
So he did lie, but what did Trump lie under oath? Like, is that what Trump did? Like,
because they haven't come on their oath. Is he?
Okay, so
they're giving subpoenas.
I mean, so the situation is different,
you know who
correct?
Subpoena? Why they ignoring the subpoenas then? Why they ignoring the subpoenas?
Well, like, I don't know. Like, what's in the subpoena?
Okay.
What's in the subpoena?
Figure out.
What are they being subpoena? What are they being subpoena about? Like, you would ignore it if it's senseless. If it ain't gonna be no reason to go. I don't really know, but you got to be able to, give me a real reason there. Oh, Ivan hung up. That's hilarious. Shout out to Ivan. Alrighty. Let me get to some more calls, but first, read the super chats. I've not forgotten about you guys. Thank you all for donating to the super chat. Shout out to Matt, who says, I got murdered by the chat. LOL, ABL has a big tent in the best show. Thank you for that comment, man. I definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Tovin Prowent, who says, how long has a gentleman been in this country? How long does it take a Latin American citizen to assimilate to America? Hey, I don't know anything about that, but shout out to you for the donation. I definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Jesse's Am. Jesse Sam. I'll butcher your name and I'm sorry. Who says, please hang up on him. How much to get him banned? Thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. And again, hang up on this guy, please. He's gone now. Thank you to Rebecca for your donation. I definitely appreciate you. Shout out to DA, who says they won't impeach because they don't want to follow the impeachment rules. They'll have to testify under oath publicly. Drain the swamp. Do it. That's a very good point right there. It'd be crazy to see all of them get under oath and testify. It'd be a whole lot of, I don't want to respond. I don't recall all this, that, and the third. I plead the fifth, all of that. But that's a different story, and I digress. Thank you to Super Rude Dog, who says, the colonists, Martin Luther, our Constitution is called natural law, protected. I cannot stress how important this is. 2/3 margin is required. Hey, thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Felix the Cat, who says, you are a good man. Keep up the good work. Nice streams. Greetings from Finland. Thank you to you for your donation, and shout out to you from Finland all the way across the water. I appreciate you. And do I have everybody else? Shout out to Valerie Rogers, who says, deport Ivan, call ICE. Hey, thank you for your donation. I definitely appreciate you. Let me get to the next call here. And let's go to... All right, caller in the line, 347, who am I speaking to? 347.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, is this ABL?
Yes, it is. Who am I speaking to?
This is Bradley, man. How you doing today?
Everything is great, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. Wow, I did not even expect to get through. I'm kind of lost my train of thought here, man.
Oh, it's all good, man.
Yeah, man. I I just would like to thank you for your content, man, and what you're doing for conservatives. And I'm a black man from South Africa. I've lived here for a number of years now, and I'm just really thankful for people like you. I live in New York City, where unfortunately I'm not able to speak as freely as you guys. But from time to time I do get a rider. I drive Uber in New York City, so from time to time I do get a rider in my car that is more open to just conversation and listening, and not just want to attack you and kill you immediately when they hear you a Trump supporter. And not just the fact that we Trump supporters, we conservatives, right? And seeing that we in the United States of America, we should have a right to be conservative. It seems that what the Democrats is doing, they are taking away our rights as Americans and giving illegal aliens more rights over us, who are American citizens.
That's right.
So it's really interesting to see what's happening, but I just like I said, I didn't expect to get through. I'm watching the live feed, but I guess I'm behind because I had to log off a couple times.
Because it's a little delay. That's one thing. People call in. It's kind of weird because if you try to watch the stream along with the call, it's not going to be the same because it's a little bit of a delay to keep the everything in order on the back end. But I got a question. Just being in New York, what's the environment like? Is it just super liberal? Is it kind of stifling? Like, how is the environment?
Yeah, so it's definitely super liberal. On top of that, too, because of my skin color, because of the shade of my color, people just assume when they get in my car that I'm Democrat, right?
Yeah.
There's that assumption because of my skin color. It's like, this is your box. This is where you belong. This is who you vote. This is who you act. And it's funny. It's sort of reflected in, like, I grew up on American music in South Africa, but I'm sort of like a weirdo. I listen to all types of music and whatever. But then people get in my car sometimes, and because of my skin color, they go, "Hey, can you play Fetty Wap?" And I'm just, and I'm like, so I go, "Yeah, who's that?" And it's like, whoa, wait, what? You don't know what is? And it's like, no, I don't know who that is. And it's like, wait, your skin color. And it's like, wow. Oh, okay. So am I out of the box here? Where's the box that I should go jump into where I belong? So it's the same thing with your way of thinking. And that's what they think of us, obviously, as black people, Democrats. It's just like, okay, we've programmed these people to think a certain way, to act a certain way. And once they step out of that little box, for me, it's interesting because I'm black. It's funny how they can call me a racist, and I'm sure that's also in your case. But funny enough, people still do call me a racist, right? And it's like, well, I'm from South Africa, and we went through years of apartheid and stuff like that. And so I should be able to identify more than you what racism is, because we kind of, 94 is when apartheid ended in South Africa. And, you guys, it's been, a couple more years along those lines. But I should be able to identify racism much quicker than you. And it's interesting how other people are telling us, people with, and I don't have anything against whites. I love whites. I love Indians, any race. I'm from South Africa, like I said, and we have the rainbow color flag, which is the Rainbow Nation, which means we are a mix and plethora of people. So I grew up with whites, Indians, Portuguese, whatever. So I have and I have white in my family too. So even I refuse to choose a side. I'm not black, I'm not white. I'm a human being first, right? And if you want to identify the color of my skin, yeah, you could say it's a darker shade, but I don't care about color. I love everyone for who they are. But it's interesting how there's this thing about, because of your skin color, this is how you should behave, and also because of your behavior, this is how you should vote. And once you start acting out of that behavior, people immediately, attack you. So that's literally what I face here in New York City, is that I've even gotten to a point where my wife asked me for safety reasons, hey, do you mind just kind of keeping your mouth shut? Because I'm a talker, right? So if you bring a topic up, you can't just get in my car and immediately, as soon as a topic, because people discuss things and sometimes people ask you stuff, and because of my skin color, they just assume and they say, oh man, I can't wait for Trump to be out of the White House. And then I ask you why. It's like, oh, well, because he's a racist. Well, name me one racist statement that he's made. Well, he wants to build a wall. Yeah, every other country on this earth has borders. Let me and you try and drive into Canada right now. What's going to happen to us? We're going to get stopped. Oh, okay. So Canada has borders, right? Canada has walls. Why should the United States of America, the greatest country in the world, should be the only country where there's no wall and you could just walk in? What is that? Doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, he hates blacks. Well, if we let's look into Trump's history. Let's take him outside of presidency and see that he's actually was honored by Jesse Jackson. He's had tons of black friends and tons of black relationships. It's only when he got to the White House that all of a sudden he became a racist, right? It's only when they figured out that they can't control him, because Hillary can be bought. Obama was bought, right? Every single policy that needed to be passed, let's, for example, say gay marriage, guess what? Someone paid for that. That's why we have it today, right? Trump can be bought. He doesn't need money. He doesn't need your money. He doesn't need your influence. He is who he is. And if we look into Trump's track record, even before he ran for office, he's always had a voice about how this country should be ran, what we should do with foreign policy, what we should do with our border and illegal immigration. He's always been very vocal about those things. But it's only interesting now that he's actually won the presidency that people want to deem him as a racist. So I'm yet to hear the person explain to me and say, hey, as a black person, can you tell me when he's actually made a racist statement or actually call a black person XYZ? Well, he used the word lynching. Oh, really? You mean he used the word in its context? That's racism? By using a word in context is deemed as racism? Wait, what? If we remove the word lynching, let's go look up the word lynching in the dictionary. Does it say, an act performed upon black people? Is that the definition of lynching? No.
Exactly.
But oh man, listen, it's such an honor to talk to you. I just want to tell you once again, keep up doing a great job. All your listeners, to everyone's on the chat right now, keep supporting this man. He's amazing at what he's doing, and keep up the good fight of faith. Oh, I have one last story for you.
I got a small amount of time, so you got to make it like real short.
Just one last story. So one night I drove this guy with his girlfriend, and he started talking about politics, and because they were a white couple, they just assumed because of my color once again that I was a Democrat. So he started talking about Trump, and I was like, yeah, no, it's fine. I'm actually a Trump supporter. And he loved it. We had a great conversation, blah, 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 da-da-da. End of the story, he gets out of the car, and he hands me $100.
Wow.
He said, listen, hey, dude, it was a 5-minute trip. He hands me $100. He said, just for the conversation, just to the fact that we could openly discuss, and just for the fact that you are a fellow Trump supporter, and let's take this whole thing Trump supporter out of other way and just use the term conservatives, because that's what we are. Just for that, dude, like, here you go. He made my night. I made some good money. And, yep, stay strong, guys. Keep it up.
No doubt, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks, ABL. Bye.
Wow, great call. Great call. Yeah. So shout out to him. Isn't it wonderful what being yourself can do for you? It's great. So shout out to him coming from South Africa. You know, shout out to all the international people coming to the country the right way. I'm with it 100%. 1,000%. Let me get to the next call here. And let's go to 480. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
What's up, Anthony? It's Frank from Arizona.
All righty, Frank. What's happening?
What's going on?
Everything's good.
Hey, that guy that calls in all the time, man, and argues with you, and you got to put him on mute.
Yeah.
You know how he said that? He said that lady was ignorant. He's ignorant. He wants to bring up the impeachment, and he don't even know what he's talking about at all.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, he could read the transcript, the phone call. I mean, I think you went over it, didn't you?
I sure did.
Yeah. And man, this guy's like, I'm like laughing, man. I'm like, dude, and he called that lady ignorant. Man, this guy, these people want a utopia, man. They want Trump to do everything 100%. If you don't do this, you're not going to benefit. So why are you going to vote for him? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
About the health care. How does he know what Trump's going to do?
Right, exactly. You're just making assumptions and they're going off of that. It's like, but how do you, like, where's the information coming from? It's coming from his own mind.
Yeah, I'm laughing at this guy, man. Then he don't let you talk. He's called before, man. Me and my son, man, I go listen to this call because we play it afterwards. And, man, we were laughing, man, because you kept on putting him on mute. I'm not lying. I'm going to laugh tonight when I hear it, man, because this guy, I don't know who this guy is, man, but he's out of his freaking mind, dude.
Yeah, that's good old Evan.
And what they're doing to Trump, man, God, dog, dude, they are lynching him. Period. They're lynching him. You know what I'm saying? And then all these Democrats, man, use the same words and nothing. And I just can't believe these freaking hypocrites, man. And then that CNN news, man, they're all so dramatic. Oh, Trump, how could he say that? Oh, it's despicable. Man, dude, I feel like jumping through the TV, man, and just saying, shut the heck up already, man. And you know what? These people watch this news, brother. They watch this news. I'm in service, man, so I enter into about 15 houses a day, every day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And some people don't have because I live in Arizona. I work in Scottsdale. You know Scottsdale, right?
Yeah, I've been there. I've been to that mountain right there.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I work right in that area, right there where all those houses or those mansions that are built on the mountain and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And I walk in and they're watching MSNBC or CNN. I don't say nothing. I just say, anything else I could do for you, sir? I don't care. I don't talk to them, bro. But then when I walk into a house and they have Fox News on, then I'll say, so, I'll make a little comment like, so what are they saying about Trump today? And they're like, oh my God. And see, I'm Mexican, so right away they think I'm a Democrat, right?
Right.
And then I start talking to them and they're like, you're a conservative? I go, heck yeah. I go, and they're a bunch of liars. All kinds of Mexicans love Trump, man, because he's standing for what we stand for what the blacks stand for. The black people that I grew up with, they don't believe in abortion. They don't believe in gay marriage and all that. They're conservative, just like we grew up. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
The thing about it is, man, is we've been brought up with our parents saying that the Democrats are for the poor people. And that's it. We don't know nothing else. That's all we've heard. We don't know what the heck. You see what I'm saying? All they know is that. hey, vote for the Democrats because they're for the poor people. That's it.
But you know
We
what?
don't know that when we were growing up-
The funny part is they say they for the poor people, but like as an adult, I look back on that and let's say, are they for the poor people or are they trying to get everybody out of poverty? You see what I'm saying? Are they trying to keep us there or are we trying to get out? Like, what's going on?
Well, here's what the deal is they want to keep you there.
Right.
Because without poor people, they're done.
Yeah.
Without poor people depending on the government, they're done. You see what I'm saying? Without racism, Al Sharpton ain't gonna make no money. Jesse Jackson ain't gonna make no ends. You know what I'm saying? Without that, so they want to keep that. Yeah, they want to keep the poor people poor, man. That's it. And so we grow up and get wise, and then our eyes are open. You see what I'm saying? But these young people that turn 18, 19, and they're ready to vote, they've been brainwashed, man. That's what I'm afraid of. That all these people that are going to school and stuff, now they're going to be able to vote. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they've been being brainwashed by the news and by going to school, colleges, and the people from 4 years ago. What, they were 15 years old? Now they're going to be old enough to vote next year, right?
That's right.
Look at all that brainwashing that's been done. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what scares me, man. I hope they're doped out and they don't go vote and they're stupid. You know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping for. Because if they do turn up and vote, all those people from 15, there's going to be a lot of people, man. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And then the news, Anthony, man, the news, bro. These people, like that Adam Schiff got away with reading that thing and making up his own thing, man. That's scary, bro. Because my mom's a conservative. My mom voted for Donald Trump, and when I showed her, I think I showed it on yours. I did yours thing when you went over it on the transcript.
Yeah.
But Adam Schiff, I said, Mom, look. And then Adam Schiff was talking about Trump, about you do this, do a favor for me and all that. Well, you heard what he said, right? And I go, Mom, can you believe that? And then she goes, Trump said all that? I go, no, this guy just made it up. But just like you believe it, all these other people that heard that believe it.
Right.
I go, this is what he really said. I go, and then I pulled up you explaining it, and she goes, are you serious? Why is he still in there? I go, I don't know, man, but if I was like they did today, 30 congressmen went in there, and I wish they would have ripped them out of there. You heard about that, huh? Matt Gaetz and them?
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you hear? Yeah. That's what they need to start doing, man. That's all I gotta say, brother. I was happy, man. That dude cry. I love when you talk to that dude and mute that dude. And I know he's listening. I said, look, dude, I know you're listening. You're ignorant. Don't be calling no one ignorant. You sound like an ignorant idiot. Hey, bro, I'll catch you later, bro. I'm gonna go into Bible study right now.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Take care, man.
All right, peace. All right, great call. Shout out to my man. And shout out to Ivan. Hey, man, the people have spoken. It's not me. What you want me to do? Shout out to everybody calling in. The number to call is 434-658-1220. This is a call-in show, of course. I'm here every Wednesday and Saturday from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern time. This Saturday, I'll be in Nashville for Politicon, so I may go live, but I may not. It depends on the situation. I'm going to try to get some footage from in there and some pictures and whatnot in Politicon. That'll be Saturday and Sunday coming up. So if you're going to be in Nashville for Politicon, or if you live in the area, I will be there. So come up to me. I'm pretty tall. You can't miss me, really. Pretty tall black guy. You're going to be able to see me. All right. So let me get to my next call here. Let's go. 918, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Trey.
All right, Trey, what's going on?
I want to inform Ivan on something. That the whole Clinton case didn't start with Monica Lewinsky. It started with Paula Jones. He got accused for sexual harassment. So that's what happened. He got accused of sexual harassment, and then they started investigating him, and that's how the whole thing started. So yeah, I didn't know that till later on in life because I was in high school when it happened. So, but yeah, let's talk about the trans kid getting, or his dad having to transition his kid. That's an atrocity. And it's funny that, like, this reminds me of like a Lifetime movie. Like, I think there's a series, like a movie that came out not too long ago where a girl was faking like she was sick. You see parents like this all the time. You hear about this all the time, how a parent will make up symptoms for a kid, or, you know, say that they're sick and try to give them medicine and they don't even need it, and play these games, and people just cater to it. And I believe what you said is right. He needs to take it to the Supreme Court, because this is just going to lead down to a slippery slope. I mean, how come kids can't drink then? You know, because that's less detrimental than having a transition. We have to take all these hormones and whatnot.
That's right. Exactly. I mean, you're talking about something that's going to damage your body forever, and you can't like reverse it. You can't just be like, oh, well, nah, I don't want to do it, because once you've been on hormone blockers and puberty blockers for years and years and years, you can't undo that damage, because the years of your life where you got to go through that naturally, you just totally wasted, and you can't get them back.
Then is it 25 that's when your brain is actually fully formed? Like, I think something like that, around that age, where they say your brain is actually fully developed.
Probably so. I don't know the exact year, but that sounds about right to me.
Yeah. Have you heard about the trans cyclist?
Yeah. That was crazy. I did a video about that one. That was, I mean, you got this dude on here looking like Ivan Drago. It's like, come on, man. What are you doing? Really? You talking about old Walu sometimes? It's like, look, man, men are going to have a natural advantage in physical activity. It's unfair. If you just allow men to compete with women, then ain't going to be no more women's sports. It'll just be sports and men will dominate. Women would just lose every single time. And it's not fair to them, because biologically they're at a disadvantage. Have women's sports so they can compete and have accolades and succeed, rather than just letting the men be there with a never win again.
Yeah, because they don't understand. Like, I know track and field is like the best sport example, because it's just straight physicality, like just straight athleticism. Like, I know I used to coach high school track, and like the fastest girl in the state could not even make it to regional finals.
Oh,
in my state.
Nah, matter of fact, I saw. That's a good thing the reason you brought that up. I was watching, what's they call it, like a mixed relay, male female.
Yeah.
And the women were just getting smoked. Like, you had the women come out first. Or, matter of fact,
I'm with it.
Yeah, I think it was one team, might have been Poland or somebody, that switched it. So rather than, like coming up to the baton switch, rather than it being all women, it was a man, or vice versa. Yeah. Either way, the man had a big lead, but it was evaporated because the woman went and she was slower, and then the man went, he overpassed the woman. They said that men on average run a 5-second faster time than women in any of these races. So there's no way any woman can beat a man in track and field. It's just not possible. The top trained athletes, it's impossible.
Because it was a 4x4. I remember seeing that. Like, one team, like in 4x4, you want to put your first and fourth leg is your fastest. So they made it where, like, I think their second and third leg ran men, and then their first leg and their fourth leg were women.
Yeah.
They got a big lead, but they just got evaporated because guys probably run like 44. A fast guy's going to run 44, and a fast woman's going to run 49 or 48. 48 at the fastest, but average guy's gonna run 44.
Yeah,
fastest woman gonna run 48.
It was crazy to see it because it was this real big lead, but then here comes the men, and this woman is running with this big lead, but instantly it was just evaporated. Instantly, it was crazy to see it, but it's a natural thing to happen. Men are going to be faster than women. That's just biology.
Yeah, I just think that's ridiculous. Have you heard about Gavin Newsom? Tim Pool did a story on like he's like baffled because California's gas is higher than everybody else. I think Arizona has a $2 something gas and they have $4, and this is an elected official. He's so dumb, like he doesn't understand why it's such a big difference, and they vote in these taxes, and they had $15 minimum wage, and they don't understand why. I heard they even have different blends. That's what Tim Pool said. They have a summertime blend of gas, and they have a wintertime blend of gas, and he doesn't understand why it's a gas difference, like a price difference between everybody else, and he said he's going to investigate it and look to sue companies.
So the governor of California does not understand why the gas prices are different?
Yes.
That's crazy. I mean, the obvious thing is the taxes. I was talking to guys from California a couple weeks ago, and I was asking them, how much are you paying? One guy lives like Hollywood, North Hollywood. He's talking about almost $5. I was like, good grief, come on. That's all taxes. That's right there. Nothing but socialism. It's all day long. When you got these really high taxes, all these programs, the minimum wage, all of that's going to cause the cost of things like gas to just exponentially increase. Same thing with the housing. Like in LA and some of the okay neighborhoods like Baldwin Hills, houses that look like you would see in a really kind of rundown town, we're going for like $1 million. It's so expensive to live, people just can't do it. They got to leave.
Yeah, I remember seeing, I don't know if it was Stossel, they were talking about in San Francisco, a guy wanted to do like a military project, but like because all the what do you call it, regulations that they had to do, like he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And then the government was blocking him from doing it anyway. So it's just a big mess. It's just amazing that a guy that signs bills all the time. And I think I've heard like 3 different bills he signed like in like the last 4 months. Like he signed that NCAA bill. There's been like 3 different bills that he signed, and they come into effect like almost immediately. And this guy is a moron. But anyway, I don't want to take up too much time. Thanks for taking the call, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him for calling on in. And you guys on the drill, the number to call is 434-658-1220. Yeah, them gas prices in California, man, they make you want to start crying. I mean, I hurt for them. How do you paying that much? How can you live on that? How is it possible to live when you got to pay $5 and there's no real like public transport? Really, there's no subway or nothing like that. I mean, you got Elon Musk trying to make tunnels, but why not just a regular subway system? I mean, is it too close to the water for that? I'm not really sure what's going on, but let me get to the next call. All right, let's go. 260, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, this is Chris. I'm serving for government overseas. I can't really say what country, though.
Okay.
So I just wanted to talk about a few things because I've been paying attention. And thanks to Trump being elected, I found out a lot more stuff about the government than I ever thought I would. Actually, more than the handful of years that I've been working for the government. I'm also prior service. One, I just want to point out to people that if you wanted to look up federal laws and stuff like that, you can go to uscode.house.gov. So you can find out, like, if an illegal alien breaks the law, what law is it? It's Title 8, which is a criminal statute, and then you go down to the section where it's like 1325. And then if you remember in California, it had a bunch of National Guards. There's like, I think they're Marines, active duty, but there were like 13 of them got arrested for aiding and abetting. And smuggling. So that's where you can go look that stuff up. I think that's like 1321. But I just want to talk about 3 things, like the lynch. Trump used that in a comment recently, and it turns out one of my friends here, he said that they used it during the Clinton impeachment. The Dems used it against the Republicans. So it's kind of funny how the hands all reversed now, and now they're trying to use it against Trump. But the whole point was to use the lynch was back in the day, lynching was a way of taking out your own vigilante justice. This is like circumventing the point of, going through the process, the due process, and getting bringing out the evidence on both sides, litigating it, getting a jury of your peers, innocent until proven guilty. So I thought I'd throw that one out there, and then I got two more. So the second one, I guess, is the Doral and Amendments Clause. I looked up yesterday about the Doral and the comments that Trump made. He says he was going to do it at cost, not for profit.
Yes.
I can't say that I'm acquisition coded. So with that, I do know that the government does guarantee contractors a certain percentage of profit as a way to keep them in business, and they can always perform, and they get annual reviews after each project. So this is very, very different from what I actually see in my job every day. And then I looked up what the definition of emoluments clause was on academic sites, not the BS crap that you see, like Cornell University. You can actually see this, what it's listed to be in the Constitution, which is great. Now, I also had to look at one of the problems that Trump had trying to get this information to where he could do Doral for the government at cost or for free. I looked up how money is given to the government. This is part of what the people that we build the wall were having. They could not just give the money to the federal government and build the wall that way. That's why they had to circumvent it, build the wall on private property, and then give it over to BCP or CBP. I'm sorry. So the way that the government receives money directly without being without getting it through taxes, they get through something called the fiscal services, which is the arm of the government that actually collects voluntary contributions towards public debt for the Department of Treasury. And if you look at it, they've almost hit $5 million this year just in people giving money for public debt. Last year it was less than 1 million, but that's because that was the first year after the tax cuts. People were using it towards taking that money that they had gotten from the tax cuts and upgrading their business, buying stuff, and then writing it off for the taxes. So there really isn't an avenue towards services given to the government at cost or for free due to the structure of the way things are done. And then the third one I wanted to talk about was the secure server, and the reason why all that information, all of his phone calls with foreign dignitaries is put on a secure server is because of all the leaks. So you got people listening in on both sides with all this classified information, and you don't want that stuff to get out into the public sphere, at least until you can resolve whatever issues you're having. For example, China, we've already had a problem with the trade deal that he announced. He had pretty much had to just get it down on paper, but with leakers, they can easily damage that. Now, it's still they kind of get damaged to a degree because of the House of Representatives voting to support the Hong Kong protesters and banning, tear gas and rubber bullets, and that did hurt his thing there. That was actually stupid, even if you think you're trying to save lives, because what are they going to use when they run out of rubber bullets? Real bullets. So I just want to throw those things out there.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, take it easy.
Same to you.
Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And you guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me get to my next call here. 202, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, this is Joe from the Nation's Capital. How you doing today, sir?
Everything's great, man. How about yourself?
I can't complain. Living the dream, all that great stuff.
All righty.
So, I just wanted to quickly highlight something that I found to be kind of ironic when I thought back to it. And it's something that was not largely covered back during the Obama administration, so I'm wondering if you're familiar with it. Do you recall Operation Fast and Furious?
Yes, with Eric Holder, the gun running to Arizona, New Mexico?
Yes. Now, I found the whole process to be extremely amusing in and of itself because For those that are not aware, this happened when the Obama administration, now mind you, that's a Democrat in office, and they largely campaign on gun control, right? However, in this case, the Obama administration had intentionally allowed the unauthorized sale of firearms to straw purchasers in the hopes that these guns would eventually make their way into Mexico and they could track the cartel. So naturally, that went awry when Border Patrol agents were ending up deceased as a result of the unauthorized sale. And secondly, a lot of people like to say that Mr. Trump is becoming a fascist or a tyrant or a dictator because he invokes executive privilege during a lot of these, in my opinion, unwarranted and unnecessary investigations. However, if people recall correctly, Eric Holder, the Attorney General of Obama, had essentially enforced that he invoked executive privilege because Eric Holder was held in contempt by Congress for not showing up. So I guess I'm a little confused as to why one is considered an impeachable offense and one is not. And one is considered fascist and one is not.
Very good point. Good question.
And additionally, I guess I'm just curious as to why they would go against their own party platform and allow for the unauthorized sale of firearms. Now, I'm not anti-Second Amendment. I know they are, and, that's fine if that's their belief and opinion. However, you have to stick to your guns. You can't deviate your opinions when it's convenient, in my humble opinion. So I just thought it was silly to begin with.
Right. Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I mean, and I just thought about it as well because, Obama has always loved to highlight, despite the fact that whether you love him or hate it, his administration was entirely scandal-free when that's not entirely true. It's just that I feel like because the press loved Obama, you either A, did not hear about it, or B, somebody was scapegoated. Now, say what you will about Hillary's private email server scandal, but at the end of the day, if you had a Republican in office, that entire administration, including the president, would have come under fire. However, because we need to protect the legacy of Barack Obama, whom we all love and adore in the press, right? Now, I say that in a facetious manner. They had scapegoated and put it all on Hillary Clinton. I mean, I'm personally not of the mindset that, the Obama administration was not aware of that private email server. I don't necessarily have evidence, I will admit that, to say that, but really, if the administration was completely unaware of it, I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
That's right.
All right, well, ABL, I'll let you go. I just needed to call in, friend. So thank you for your time, sir. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right, shout out to my man for calling. Most certainly appreciate him. Thank you all for being here. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me get to my next call on the line. Hold on. Matter of fact, let me just wait 1 second. Shout out to the super chatters right quick. Did I get everybody? Thank you to my man Matt, who says, I was reading Ivan's heat thinking it was mine. Oh, okay. In the chat, people were getting that. And Ivan thought it was you. It's all good. So, all right. Let's get back to the calls. Nippin, what's going on?
Not much. How are you?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Yeah. So I hear you're going to Politicon.
Yes, I will be there in Nashville.
So you may or may not take calls.
I may or may not. It depends, but I definitely will be.
So you will. How will you let us know whether you're taking calls or not?
I'll just put an announcement on my social media, probably like in the community section of the page too.
Oh, okay. When are you gonna come across the pond?
Hey man, somebody got to bring me out there, man. If somebody flies me out there, put me up in the hotel. I love to go.
Okay. Who's gonna fly you? Like, can you not take American Airlines or Virgin Atlantic or something?
Hey, whoever is paying for the ticket, somebody can just pay for me to go over. Like, I don't want to pay for the ticket in the hotel because I've been paying for all these kind of. It's expensive.
Who pays for you?
Huh?
Who pays for you?
You said what?
Who pays for you to go to this Politicon and?
I'm paying. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's expensive, so I don't want to keep paying for all these trips, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get you. So, now a 7-year-old is being brainwashed by his mother to become a woman. Well, a girl. Sorry, 7 years old.
Yeah, that's what's happening. It's pretty crazy.
God, no. Honestly, what has the world come to?
It's hard to tell, man. I don't even know what's going on.
I mean, you're bringing your child up to basically ethnic cleanse. It's basically a form of ethnic cleansing. There's no other word to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it seems like here.
And Now now Trump uses the lynching tweet. What have Democrats got to say about that? Oh, he's racist. He's advocating lynching. No, I think it's the Democrats who do that. That's Democrats. They advocate lynching, not Donald Trump.
That's right.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but what party did Eugene Connor belong to? And what did he do to black people?
Are you talking about Bull Connor?
Yeah, Bull Connor. His real name was Eugene.
Okay.
George Wallace, he was a Democrat too, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever.
That's him.
Theodore Bilbo, a known KKK member, Robert Byrd. And Hillary Clinton called him her hero. Yeah. Democrats. Abraham Lincoln, a Republican. It's the Democrats. They never change.
They never change.
Before, they've always been racist. Before it was racist to black people, now it's racist to white people.
Like, they say that there's been a party switch, but I can't tell. It just, people have changed, but the party has not changed.
The only thing that has switched is the type of racism. Before it was white on black racism, now it's black on white racism.
Yeah.
And I can't believe what the father loses the court case. I mean, 2 genders. There are only 2 genders. That's it. You can cross-dress, but changing, going through a surgery. No. You can cross-dress. You can dress up as a woman. You can dress up as a man. Heck, you can identify as Barney the Purple Dinosaur or Thomas the Tank Engine. But the fact is, your biological hormones will never change.
That's right.
And now Mitt Romney having a troll account. What of that?
Well, I mean, he was saying a bunch of things under that he should have just said as himself. It's like, stop being afraid. Just be you.
He was always a never Trumper.
Well, yeah, but it's like, be that way in public rather than trying to do it privately.
How he managed to become the senator of Utah while being a known anti-Trumper at the same time is beyond me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, how did he even get the nomination? They should have given it to someone like Mia Love. I don't know if she was an anti-Trumper, though.
I think she kind of was.
But wasn't she less than Mitt Romney?
It's hard to tell. I can't really gauge it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think there were a lot more suitable candidates out there to be Utah senator other than Mitt Romney. I mean, maybe they just did it, it's the name, and put everything else out of the window.
That's right.
Now let's talk sports. Trans cyclists. Oh, no. Look, there's a reason why men and women compete separately.
That's right.
It's because if they competed together, there would be no competition. The men will always win. I know this may sound sexist, but this is true. This isn't sexism.
Nah, it's basic science, basic biology, and it's weird how the left will always talk about if you are against climate change or you're a skeptic of climate change, that somehow you don't believe in science. But basic science, like the difference between a man and a woman, gets totally ignored by the left when They talk about this whole transgender cyclists and other things. It's crazy.
Yeah, and also how when it comes to movies, they're all A-OK. When it comes to making a white character black, but then they shout racism when it's the other way around.
Right.
Like, remember a few months ago I said, oh, they were making a Disney character black from white. Remember the Little Mermaid? They were making her black.
Yeah.
And now all of the sudden, they say they would. You know, imagine if they made the girl from The Princess and the Frog white. Imagine the backlash there.
Oh no, you can't do that. That'd just be totally against the rules in their book.
Exactly. I mean, it's as outrageous. Look, I'm against blackwashing and whitewashing. If you whitewash a character, by all means, I'll be mad. But I will also be mad if they do it the other way around, from white to color.
That's right, man. I'm with you. But hey, man, I got to get to a couple more calls before I get off. So I thank you for the call as always.
Oh, I actually wanted to... Did we already talk about Syria and Tulsi being a Russian agent?
I'm not sure, but I got to get to some more calls.
Okay.
So say that for next time.
Yeah, I shall see you either this Sunday, if you're on, or next Sunday. But either way, I'll tune into your live stream at Politicon.
Yeah, Sunday your time, Saturday my time.
Yeah, if it's not this Sunday, I'll see you next Sunday because I'm back on my semester next Wednesday.
Gotcha.
So I'll see you either... I'll see you either in 2 days or a week.
Alrighty.
Peace.
All right. Thanks for the call. I most certainly appreciate them. Shout out to Nippin. And yes, everybody like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. I'd appreciate it. Let me get to some more calls here. Oh, the number to call is 434-658-1220. It should be right there in the ticker, and if it's not, it'll be in the description box. 416 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, it's Cigar Bucks. How are you?
Everything's good, man. How about yourself?
Oh, miserable because of that election, but I have a strange question. Do you know anything about NASCAR racing?
A little bit, not a whole lot.
Okay, I have a question. I was under the impression the cars all had to kind of be the same, and you weren't allowed to deviate. That's all right?
Well, yeah, they do got to be very similar to each other. Yes, there's certain things you got to have. You got to have restrictor plates and stuff like that. So they do have to be very similar. I'm not sure about the exact same because there's different shops and mechanics. So it's not gonna necessarily be the exact same, but they must be very similar.
Yeah, I was wondering because with it being a sport, and you've got these trans people getting in there, isn't that kind of altering the mechanics of the instrument used?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're talking about the whole transgender thing. I mean, that's wildly different. It's like, see, in NASCAR, the cars are like almost the same, basically the same, you know, like slight deviations. See, that'd be the same thing as men racing, or even more strict than men racing, you know, because men are going to be different because they're human beings, and it's not the same thing as a machine where you can control all the aspects of it. But you're talking about women versus men. You're talking about cars versus like tricycles. It's way different. Not even the same thing at all. Two totally different vehicles altogether.
I just looked at it upon it. You're kind of souping up the engine or something by having them compete like that.
It's like having a paper plane versus a jet.
Yeah, something like that. I know there's not much time left, and I just wanted to kind of get that on, so I'll let you go, and you can get to another call. Thanks a lot for taking mine, and good luck, man, at Politicon. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Cigar Box, my man. Thank you for that. I most certainly appreciate you. Yes, indeedy. And thank you all for being here. I appreciate you guys. And yes, I will be in Politicon, at Politicon, pardon me. And if you're going to be in the Nashville area or at Politicon in general, coming out to see me right downtown Nashville, it'll be at the Music City Center. And I'll be just, making my rounds, going to the different panels and whatnot. I'll be eating in the area. So, hey, come up to me, see me. I'm about 6'3", right around there. Pretty tall guy, black dude with, I might have this hat on or something else, who knows. So, yeah, you'll be able to see me. Just run up on me. Don't do nothing crazy because, that's not good. But just be nice and it's all good. All right. Thank you to G. Carjalo, who says, ducats for the bucket, ABL. Thanks for this forum. Hey, thank you for your donation. I definitely appreciate you. And shout out to all the members as well. You can join the website. Well, not the website. You can join this channel as a member. If you go to the little dollar sign right by your name, you click on that, and you should be able to hit the member button. It should be there. If it's not there, let me know. Let me see. I'm reading some of the chats here. Yeah, I'm not hard to miss. I guess that's what I meant to say. Not hard to miss at all. So, and just a man says you're black. Yeah, I mean, I know people don't really know that about me. That's kind of a secret. But yeah, I'm coming out right now as a black man. And I want to thank everybody in my life that's brought me here today, that's giving me the courage to come out as a black man. Shout out to all y'all. Let me see. I'm reading some of the chats. Yeah, shout out to Virginia Fast Pony. That's my original stomping grounds. Have I ever been go-kart racing? Yes, I have. Of course. I've not been like car racing. I've not done anything like that. But I know guys that have, been out there and done some actual car racing. I can't do it. Drag racing was a big thing back in Virginia, but I never did that. Hey, said I'm so brave. Y'all hilarious. Let me see. What else we got? I got a little bit of time left. What else I got? Oh, also, aside from Politicon, I'll be going to another Blexit rally, this time in Atlanta. So I'll be in Atlanta on November the 10th. That'll be a Sunday. So not this coming Sunday or next, but after that. So November the 10th, I will be in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, I'll probably be there earlier on in the day. So I'll be there probably like most of the day that Sunday. I'm not exactly sure what time the event is. I think it's like 3:00, and it'll be in Buckhead. So if you're up in Atlanta, you're in the area, you're going to be in Buckhead, North Georgia, whatever, coming out to the Blexit rally. It's not race specific. If you're down for the cause of, helping the black community escape the Democratic Party, come on down. It's all good. If you want to holler at me, come on down to Atlanta. I will be there November the 10th. I don't have any other trips coming up, but I may have a trip at the end of the year. Last year, I was supposed to go to Russia, but I did not have a passport at the time. So I had to get a passport last minute, and I did not get it in time to get my visa to go to Russia to enter the country. So I couldn't go. But if I go this year, it'll be the full year, expenses paid, not the full year, pardon me, the full week. I'm not spending a year in Russia. It'll be the full week, expenses paid, the whole 9 yards. They'll take me to different places, to some, government places, just kind of a tour of Moscow. And the main thing would be just for me to go to Russia and then report how I felt about the country back when I get in America, just to get it a little bit more PR, I suppose. So yeah, that'd be a big trip if that comes up. It may or may not. Yep. So I think the Atlanta Blexit rally is going to be tremendous. Yeah, because, Atlanta is like a small New York, but it's still in the South. It's conservative. It's different Atlanta is like New York, but it's way different because number one, it's in the South. Number two, it's like surrounded by country, like country people. Once you in the city, it's city. But once you out the city, you're like hog farms. You're in Georgia still. So a lot of people down there have very Southern values, Southern traditions. So to have that rally right there, you're gonna see it's gonna be surprising to a lot of different people. It'd be very surprising actually. Let me see what else. I like to come anywhere. If anybody wants me to come anywhere, just fly me out, hotel room. We'll talk about any other accommodation. I have an email on my website. I have a snail mail on my website. Just check it out, anthonyblogan.com. Email is contact@anthonyblogan.com. If I'm not responding to you, I'm sorry, but I get so much email, but I read everything. Every email I get, I read all of it. Yeah, Atlanta is blue in a sea of red, exactly. 100%. Urban Atlanta is very liberal. Urban Atlanta is like New York. Well, matter of fact, to me, it felt more like DC, honestly. Not quite like New York, where it's like the big blocks. More like DC, but not without the politics, of course. Very much like DC. I think Uber Guy will be there. I saw Uber Guy. I just hooked up with Uber Guy when I was in DC. So I saw him there, but he'll probably be in Atlanta too. He'll probably be at the actual event. Yeah, I mean, Atlanta. I'm talking about like downtown. I ain't talking about like, Decatur, and I'm talking about the city part. It reminds you of New York, but really it's more like DC. Like driving up to Atlanta from North Georgia. You coming into it, it looks like coming into DC. It's weird. The traffic just instantly increases. It's kind of crazy. That's right, Zealand's in. Cities are always bluer than their surroundings. Correct. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close it on out. You guys have been great tonight. I thank y'all for being here. If you're not subscribed to me already, please do so. Hit the subscribe button and click the bell right beside it. When you click that bell, you get notified whenever I go live or post a new video. Also, what I got? Oh, I got merch. I got these hats that We the People. I make all these. They're available on my Teespring store. And I had a LeBron shirt up, but they took it down because it was like similar to somebody else's. So it's whatever. It don't even really matter. I'm going to do a different shirt around the same thing. That'll be up on the store. But anything that you may need, merchandise, whatever, email, social media, that's all on my website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN. Oh, and at the Blexit rally, in Atlanta before we close, Candace Owens will be there, of course. Brandon Tatum, Rob Smith, I think David Harris Jr. I'm going to be there. I will not be speaking. I'll just be there. Anytime I go to a Blexit rally, I'm just kind of like, meeting and greeting, talking to people. That's pretty much my objective. That's the thing I did in Richmond when I was there, and it'll be what I'm doing when I'm in Atlanta. So I'll be easy to find. Tall guy, easy to find me. I love talking to people, shaking hands, all of that. That'll be what I'm doing in Atlanta. If they let me on stage, maybe I'll get on there, but I've not been scheduled to do so. So is that all I got? That's all I got. So thanks to the moderators. You guys have been great tonight, as always. I appreciate you. And with that, I'm out. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.